listening to Kate of Gaia on Critical Mass Radio. The game is up. Now, it's our turn.
Fucking blog talk. Anyway, hi guys, how's it going? I hate clicking the thing 3 or 4 times for it to go. It's like, get the studio working here, people. Welcome to Outside the Box. Yours truly, Kate of Gaia. For those that are brand new listening, welcome to the reality of reality shows. Anyway, where did I want to start? There's a lot of places I want to start tonight. First one is that I'm doing this against better body sense judgment, but I got to tell you, there's a lot more important things to be doing. And, with some of the things that have been coming up that are absolutely critical, as far as I'm concerned, to really drive these points home with people. I sit here beside myself going, this is so easy. Why don't people get this? Oh, but I'm too busy being emotional. That's the problem, right? You want to stop any good rational conversation? Get emotional. Throw a religion in there. Yeah, that's why you can't offend me. And by the way, don't ever think you somehow offended me. And this, I get this quite regular from people. I hope I didn't offend you. So you can't, right? So have a look in the mirror on that. And I'm being very, very blunt. Have a look. That's scuba nose. Have a look. Okay? How the hell are we going to help each other if we're going to walk around each other with rice paper? Okay? Seriously? I got to tell you, I view this planet like a bunch of 5-year-old kids with guns and weapons and money and ego and emotional, like tantrum-throwing grown-ups. You know? None more so than what I've seemed to have met in the sovereign freeman movement in the previous years of this. But it drives me crazy. And in a very neutral way, it's like, okay. it's imagine sitting in a classroom and the teacher puts 1 + 1 on the blackboard equals, and everyone in the classroom goes up and writes 3, 7, 18, A, right? After you've already went up and answered it, 1 + 1 = 2. I'm being very literal here, okay? And everybody got that? Yeah, we got it. Erase it, and then they go up. What was that again? I think it was 3. That's what happens when emotions get involved, when fear gets involved. Fear is your biggest enemy because it's the biggest joke of all. And I'll tell you, you know what fear is? Fear is that thing about losing something, Ego is only worried about losing. I might lose, face on this, or I might lose my job, or I might lose. Who gives a shit? I just accept things as they are, and I move through the things as I accept them. Right? No hassle, no fuss, no muss, easy peasy. The answers will present themselves. I've got my own little things rattling around in my cage that I'll keep them in a tumbler long enough to see. And again, it's a tumbler, any rough edges, until I can present the gem, right? So I don't know about you, but if anyone as a kid got a rock tumbler, actually one of my friends had one. It's pretty cool. You take stones you'd find out in the street and whatever, and all rough edges and you throw them in the tumbler. And you let this thing tumble, for a few days, a couple of weeks, whatever. I think typically it was a week to 2 weeks that rocks had to be tumbled before they started to become polished, right? Anyway, you can't squeeze that process. And that's what's happened to humanity is we've tried to squeeze this typical 2-week process of smoothing a stone into, I'm waiting for my burger, it's been a minute now. Okay, the drive-through truth mentality. And that's fear. I've lost count of how many night before the project is due projects coming to me. I accept that as normal, apparently. As a kid, I was given a project to do. I'd do it. oh, you have 2 weeks to do the project or 3 weeks to do this project. So I do it. 2-3 days later, it was done. And, I'd watch the other kids a week and a half later and say, oh, have you started your project yet? And says, yeah, it's done. I'm just adding to it as I go now. Huh? Well, what's the point? What kind of, in terms of marks, what kind of mark you looking for? Your best projects aren't the night before ones, okay? Those are the ones that you were just either too lazy, and that's typically what it is, as kids anyway. You're too lazy to get started on them because you're too busy playing. Sound familiar, guys? God, it almost sounds like fucking adult world. And then you get people caught up in all sorts of dramas and nonsense and, the human hormone dramas and the rest of it. It's like, it's nuts. It is. Have a look around. You walk and talk in high school. It's crazy. But anyway, I'm here to absolve some of that anyway, because I had a lot of that to go through. I had all of it to go through. So I'm no different than anyone else. We're all on our own paths here, all separate but singular at the same time, with all things connected. And this is the hardest thing that people have to see is the anagogic side of things. Anagogic is taking it beyond the allegorical meaning. And I find that it tends to get into the literal far too much for my liking, where I prefer to talk about concepts, not literal diatribes and dramas and regurgitating the same shit over and over again. It's okay, and the stuff that we've talked about, I know you get. That's okay, bringing it up. It's all right. Let's move on, right? Yes, I know you're clever. That's why you're here. You were clever enough to make it here. Well done. Congratulations. Yes, and for any other news to the show, of course, the voice is lower than boobs would indicate, and that's just normal for transgender type people. So you'll get over that one quick enough, and that's definitely an outside the box perspective for you. What else? Let's, I'm going to swing for home here. Might as well take Mr. Spaulding right out of the parking lot. To hell with the park. This human nature thing that people have, you got to let it go. Because the only thing that's going to keep you under any sort of system control is your fear of losing something. And this is why I was so fortunate having my entire universe raped in one night. I didn't have to worry about, what about this? What about that? Oh, I have to, gone. Here's a coat in your back. Oh, yeah, that car and truck and house and family and everything else that you thought you had, well, it just got fucked. Yeah, while you're at it, it's about -20, -25 Celsius. Yeah, it's a good thing you've got a spring coat on. Yeah, that's really cool. Of course, walking shoes. That doesn't really work in the drifts very well. But anyway, and this is the joke of it, guys. This is where you gotta just let go. What the fuck are you holding on to? And I'm telling you, what you're holding on to is the very thing that's got you by the nads. It's got you by the throat. Have a look at the coat of arms for that whore in fucking Buckingham Palace, okay? The whore and her fucking pimp. Have a look at it. It's got a lion on one side and a unicorn on the other. And what's around the unicorn's neck is a crown with a chain on it. That's you. But you don't see the crown tight around the neck, do you? No. You got to be strong enough to stand up, bow your head, let that motherfucker fall off. And I'm on fire tonight, guys, because I've been feeling like shit for the last 5 days. And I really, really don't like talking about this much anymore. So if it feels like it's cutting right to the core, it's because it has to at this point. Because I'll be honest, as I always brutally am, how long would you fucking do this? I'm going to let that sink in for a sec. Insert the Jeopardy theme here. Okay, we're going to get a little bit outside the box tonight. Okay, I got a situation with a friend over in Ireland, and I'm hoping that Pete calls in, sort a couple of things out, and do some clarification, because what he's got is a classic example of what needs to be dealt with. And, of course, you can be a pussy like Santo Bonacci and fucking fold like a wet rag. Sorry, Santo. I call him as I see him. 9 days in general population. Come on, man. Fuck, I thought you were stronger than that. Goddamn Aries. Is there a pussy sign in the zodiac? Fucking better be. Anyway. Yeah, I'm just tired of all these so-called truthers. You know. They don't know shit. That's why I don't listen to them anymore. There's only a handful of people I'll even mention, let alone talk to. And you guys know the short list on that. I've watched too many truthers fall off the cliff of reality, and I know why, because they just get to that point of, oh, if I do that, then yeah, scary shit, huh? It's not really, once you get there. It just takes a bit of practice. But I'll tell you, for those of us that are here of where I'm talking about, yeah, we're carrying the weight for you. Isn't that cool? Lucky you. Nanny state times 2. And then there are many at this table that have taken the beautiful walk. And they know exactly what I'm talking about. They know exactly why I crank the way I do. I'm one of the very few people that will. It's just my nature. Brutally honest. I'll tell you why, because I had to be brutally honest with me first. So I figured if I can be that rough on me, everybody else is easy. Anyway, situation. Let me see. I just go into the Skype here. Bear with me, guys. My multitasking ability isn't that great. Now, just so people know, it's BTR listener number 025. So if you want to call in via Skype, there's the shortcut to do that. BRT listener 025. All right. Yeah, the heads again is not as clear as I like it to be, but it's perfectly clear from where I can see it. Anyway, the phone number to call in for those that want to jump in here is 661-467-2401. That's 661-467-2401. Okay, that being said, you can at least get to the board if you want to come in and ask questions. Once you're on the board, all you have to do is hit 1, and that lets me know. And yes, I see area code 770. And, of course, Chris, I see you there, too. I'm going to open up the mics in a sec. 1 sec here. All right, where is it? Why not a pile of fun or what? You should get me at a gathering sometime. There we go. There's gotcha, Willie X. Love it. Let me see. I got to get anyone that has contacted me. I get them into the lighthouse immediately. For those who want to involve themselves in our group chat, we don't do anything really on the Blog Talk page. At least I don't, because I got the studio open, so there's no way I can even interact with that. In real time. But the Skype I can, because it's open close. I can't be flipping pages here constantly with the studio. Anyway, so anyone that wants to get a hold of me on Skype, it's easy. That's katie.renee.thompson. That's katie.renee.thompson. Okay, and you might find that to be a little different than most truther radio types. They really don't like giving their personal information out. They'd rather just be the here I am, I'm a star. No, sorry, I'm a group player. I kind of hang out in the commons, and that's where we all are. So anyway, I do make myself accessible, but please keep in mind, texts at 1 and 2 in the morning don't really work for me, nor do phone calls at 6 a.m. Just be mindful, I'm in Eastern Standard Time. Have a look at the clock and ask yourself the question, would I want some asshole calling me at that time? Didn't think so. Okay, so, as you wish upon others, well, you've wished upon yourself. So put that in the mirror. If you want to get, phone calls at 5 a.m., waking you up and having to answer all sorts of questions, then you'll understand what I'm talking about. All right, so I'm just going through the list here. Just carrying on. Oh, yeah, I'm back, Paul. Somebody put a flamethrower under the bed. I just found it. Okay, good night, Ninja. Love you, and sweet dreams, kiddo. Where are we at here? Hey, Fred. Bobo. Yeah. Now, once you get a hold of me on Skype, or, by the way, guys, anyone that's on Skype that has friends that are, at this table, just Skype contact them and get them to add you to the Lighthouse as well, because we have wide open. It's non-exclusive. We don't segregate or separate in any way, shape, or form. Apparently assholes are welcome in the room. I'm there, so it's all good. You see, so it's all good. And hey, Mark, I know it's fun, isn't it? Sorry, I just that elastic thing that got stretched so far, it just let go tonight. But I just want to get back to Pete. He said he was going to call in. Let me see. And I thought he put something in the room. Everything moves so quick in the rooms. Let me see. Yeah. Anyway, Pete's got a court thing tomorrow. A long story there. It's absolute bullshit dealing with his ex and, of course, his son. But it's a prime example of what I'm talking about with the emotional baggage that's going to get your ass owned every fucking time. Promise. You are emotional, you can be threatened. You got to go back to the Abraham when he was told to slay his son sort of mentality. Okay. The allegory there is quite simple. Are you willing to lay it all on the line? Really, seriously? And it is merely the intent and the action of getting to the altar and putting your child on the altar and of course, right at the moment, says, no, I was just testing you to see if you were committed, right? And that's what you got to be. You've got to be committed to this, because the more you think you're hanging on and holding on to something to protect it, you're actually fucking killing it. You better get this through your head, guys. It's all backwards here, and your emotions are going to kill you every time. And the minute you think you're going to lose something, you're like, oh my God, that's the power of fear. There's much to fear from someone with nothing to lose. Pure truth. It's all on the table for me. You want to play cards with me? I'm all in. You better bring the whole deck and then some. Because I'm sitting here with a royal flush to the ace of spades high. Nothing on the card deck touches it. This is the $5 bet of the spiritual world, boys and girls. Don't bet me $5. Because I don't bet anything unless I know I've already won. Okay? This is about commitment to yourself. All right, so here was the minor breakdown of what I've got here. It's in court tomorrow for a public order offense trying to see his son. That's why I want to talk to him, because he's going with the I am the witness to the name fraud being perpetrated against me here. Now, one of the first questions I would ask, in the case of the court, I would ask, and by the way, never answer a question to any of these fucking monkeys. Okay? If they ask you a question, you ask a question back for the answer. You can play this game all day, and they don't like it. Because the one that's asking the questions is the one who is the authority, not the other way round. Because the one asking questions is open to resolve, is open to peace. The one that's making the demands and the statements and the claims and the rest of that shite that goes along with it, do you know that film that happens underneath a toilet seat on occasion that you have to get the scrub brush at? That's the energy I'm talking about. That's what that is. And that's people like that are to me, right? But anyway, the simple question is, I would ask this question right out of the gate. Is it a crime to aid and abet someone in committing fraud? You know, so, well, are you so-and-so? I said, well, that depends. Is it a crime to aid and abet somebody in committing fraud, knowingly or unknowingly? Oh, and I don't care if the judge comes back with, oh, just answer it. No. Fuck you. I'm Mr. Cody in Interstate 60. I got the explosive truth here. I'll blow your whole fucking courthouse up. I know, I've done it. Right? Because they're powerless pieces of shit, these guys. And I'm being very dramatic tonight for the effect, okay? So play with me here. Let's have some fun. Consider this a Joe Rogan, Bill Hicks, and George Carlin on steroids kind of thing, okay? That's what I like to do. If I can get it entertaining enough, you will have the concept sink in. Well, I'll definitely make it entertaining, I hope. So again, with the I'm the Witness, now there's fundamental, I've done shows on all of these things, and all you got to do is Google on YouTube. You can Google I Who Shall Not Be Legally Named YouTube, and the episodes will come up because Giuseppe is just incredible. Lightworkers Media. He titles all of the episodes where I don't. I just don't have the time. I don't know what the hell I'm going to be talking about anyway, any given night. Because I don't plan anything. I live in the now. What is needed is what is needed now. I'm not one to plan anything, right? So a great big thank you to Giuseppe at Lightworkers Media because he listens to the shows. Well, beyond that, and when he turns them into the YouTube videos, he puts a title on them, and they're always more appropriate. So if there's something in terms of the writings that are on the cadeofgaia.wordpress.com website, then just Google YouTube search outside the box and put the document or essay's name in it, and lo and behold, you might be surprised at what pops up. Your answer will be there. Google is your friend. Right, Wayne? We know that. I'm looking forward to chatting with you tomorrow after your meeting with the teachers. That should be fun. But anyway, Pete, that's what I did you. There you are. Let me get you in here.
Hi,
all right, let's go one-on-one for a bit. I don't want to monkey around with literal shit, okay? So we're going to play hardball here, okay?
Absolutely.
That's what you're going to do tomorrow. You're going to walk in there with a spiritual Louisville slugger, and you're going to take that judge's head right out of the fucking park.
Absolutely.
Okay? I'm not saying that to be arrogant. I'm saying that to be confidence is something you get after the fact, not before it. You got to earn the confidence. Okay, so this is about the leap of faith and trusting in the truth. This is why I only stand in truth, because I know it never fails. I don't know what part of that people don't get, but here, that's true. Stand in truth, it never fails. Funny, that's a truth. Okay, so first thing that'll probably happen with you tomorrow is they'll be calling the name. Excuse me. So the first answer I would give there, well, I'm here pertaining that matter. You keep it short, keep it simple, keep it sweet. The biggest problem and the biggest thing that people have in terms of court, that's Santo, he'll tell you, you can't shut up. So I tell people, learn to shut up. And take your time. There's no hurry. You're God. Take your time. You've only got forever. Okay, so let's say they call out Peter Shea, blah, 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 blah. Oh, I just lost him. Shit. Here, I might have to pull him in. Okay. It's kind of pointless me talking about this without Peter actually being here, These are very, very important issues as far as I'm concerned. And I know a lot of people are dealing with them, but here's the thing. This is the same as dealing up a parking ticket. It's the same thing as dealing up, I need to get my kids back. You see, this is what has been so hard to get across to people. What is the concept of one ring to rule them all? What part of that concept is confusing? So, I'll tell you what, I'm going to get the other mics open because I need to get some answers to that. There we go. I think this is Colin. And I'll open up your mic soon, Richie. Just need to keep this real focused. Just give me a second. Chris.
Hi.
There you are. And Lynn. So hold on for a sec, guys. And I'm just waiting to get Peter back in here. I don't want to get off into any monkey chatter right now, guys. I'm just like, have you not noticed? Okay, good. I thought you figured I might be on fire here. Now there's Peter. Okay, got him. Can you guys? It's all good. It's all good. Good to hear you, Chris. I was actually going to tag you yesterday, but my brain was somewhere in Wisconsin. Anyway, I could think of where it was. But let's get Peter. Are you there? We got you. Oh shit! We just lost him again. I think he must be hitting the hang up when he wants to unmute the call. Here, just a sec, guys. I'm just going to pull him in here. This is exactly what I don't want happening because it derails. This is when you know things are happening. And that's exactly what I don't want tonight. I don't want any derailments. But, well, while I got you there, Chris.
Yeah.
Is there anything difficult about the concept of one ring to rule them all?
No, absolutely not.
Why don't you explain to everyone what that means to you?
What it means to me to be a ring.
Mm-hmm. No, the one ring, the concept of one ring to rule them all.
One ring to rule them all. Okay. Well, I've come here for some more updated knowledge, which is what you're giving me. But in terms of knowing who you are, that is the first and foremost thing that you have to do. Because if you just don't know, or you think you don't know, or you think you know, you're not sure, then you better find out soon enough. Because if you don't know who you are, then really all I can say is that you're just going to be chasing your tail forever and ever, and you'll end up making excuses over and over and over again. And I'm living through it myself now with people. So it's hard when people say, yeah, I get it, I know it, but yet they still continue to live in that world which they've been enslaved to. And I don't think they're doing it consciously, and they're not really doing it on purpose, but they're so addicted to it. So you really have to know who you are. Yeah, the fear thing, yeah.
It's all fear. Yeah, because when the reality of this really sinks home with people, it's like, oh my, in terms of the system, look what I can't do anymore. And, oh no, now you're starting to see the control the system had on you. This is the mirror. You got to see the control the system has on you.
Yeah.
So the one ring to rule them all is simply the cornerstone. If you take out the cornerstone, it's the one stone that is required to hold the entire, well, you've got the keystone at the top of an arch. You take out the keystone, what happens to the arch? It collapses. Right? And the name is the keystone. That's the one ring that rules everyone. Right? So what I went after was if the name is the one thing that controls everybody, then it has to be the one thing that's going to set everybody free. Everything in a singularity. Right, so I got Peter back here, so let's see, and we've got a bit of noise in the background, guys, so if you could mute on your end while you're not talking, that would be awesome. Otherwise, I'll have to do all the mics again. Peter, are you there?
I'm there. Sorry about that, Kay. My connection seems to be cut and go.
There are no apologies ever needed at the table. Losing the term I'm sorry, okay? Because that is a guilt position. That is well taught by the Catholic Church, by all religions, okay?
Sure. It's just of all nights I did to be continue, Kay.
It's all good. It's all good. This is an important scuba nose moment, okay, that we need to get wiped out of our noses. Okay, so tomorrow the judge says they come off with a line like Peter Shea. Wait for them to ask. Wait for them to ask for it twice. Don't be in such a hurry. Look like you're just doing something else. That's what I like to do anyway. That's what I did. Judge Bowser, yeah, he had to ask twice, and of course the lady sitting beside me, Annie. I don't even want to get into that. Oh, they're calling you. I just looked at her and said, "Shut the fuck up." I know. Sorry, are they calling you? Are they calling me?
I just watched that last night as well. Kate again.
Oh yeah. All these people and the emotional. Oh, they're calling you. You better jump like. Fuck you. I'm wearing a hat for starters. Two, I don't stand. I've owned the courtroom the whole day. This is like 7.5 hours later. You think I'm going to jump for someone? Are you kidding me? No, this is patience, boys and girls. And emotion says, react, jump now, fear, lemming off the cliff, woohoo! And I'm gonna.
The master calls. The master calls you answer. Bullshit.
Exactly. I'm gonna have to mute all the mics here, guys, because there's just too much noise in the background. I think it's on your end there, Chris, just to let you know. Just going to mute out for a sec while I've got Peter here, just to keep that's better, much clearer. And again, no harm, no foul. It's technology. It is what it is. So I don't know about you, but I would never apologize for somebody else's bullshit technology. I'm just grateful that it's here that I can use it. See, we like to apologize for others all the time. I'd actually accuse you of being pseudo-Canadian. They apologize for everything. It's unreal. But anyway, so...
We're learning, Kate, it's just in terms of the continuity. But yeah, I retract my apologies.
Yeah, no, that's all good. You break all contracts when you do that. Just get rid of the contracts. Okay, so Judge Parasite, and never address them as your honor or anything of any sort of fucking authority. I'd be more apt to say, sorry, you piece of shit. But that's me, you know. That's how much fear I have of these monkeys.
Yeah. I'll refrain from that.
No, for now, until you really get time. See, I do it for fun, not to demean, but to show observation of the power you really have, which is nothing. They have nothing. The only power they have is the amount of fear they can throw on you. No name, no game. Now, the only problem with going to court is there is an assumption and presumption. This is where I'm trying to clarify this in your mind so that it's clear, so that you're not walking in there with mental assumption and presumption. You're going in regarding that matter.
Yeah.
Okay? So they say, if they ask, are you Peter Shea? And I said, well, first I'd like to know if it's a crime to aid and abet somebody into committing fraud, knowingly or unknowingly. And and that's basically I lead the questioning. I don't fucking follow it. I lead it. Okay? So, well, you're God, so start leading the dance, will you? Instead of following some pervert, pedophile, child chaser. Gross. Okay? And you generally start getting a little bit, upstartish at this point. But here's the game. How willing are you to stand in truth? And that's the only question, right? Are you willing to walk away from everything? And, of course, we just lost Peter again. What else is? No, that's a Skype. All right. I'm going to pull him in with me, and that'll be that. At least this way it'll auto-dial him back. Okay. Yeah, these are very important concepts. These are not legal wranglings I'm talking about here. These are straight point concept questions. And by the way, only ask a question that you already know the answer to. Never ask a question you don't know the answer to. Now that might sound a little oxymoronic, but have a look at the power of, imagine someone, you want to ask somebody the question, if you crack an egg on a bowl, will it open? Well, typically, yeah. So you know the answer to that. So you have certainty in that question. And of course you know that it's a crime to aid somebody into committing fraud, knowingly or unknowingly. Of course you know it's a crime. And that's where you leave it. It might come back and say something along the... Peter's back on the board here. Okay. I tried to bring you in with me there, Pete. Anyway, so typically you come back, well, are you so-and-so? And I says, well, again, is it a crime to aid and abet somebody into committing fraud, knowingly or unknowingly? And then you can ask them, what is it? Entrapment. I mean, enticement into slavery. I mean, these things are very, very, very simple. And they're true. Here's the only time you have power. Listen up, Tammy Pepperman, Dean Clifford, and the rest of you fucking legal beagle wankers. The only time you actually have any status is when you know who you are. No claims can be made against he or she who shall not be named. They need that name. Remember that. That is the core issue here. No name, no game, no jurisdiction. Juris means oath. Diction means spoken. So remember, when you speak, that is your jurisdiction. I love these guys arguing jurisdiction. Oh, you're arguing over who's talking matters? That's what jurisdiction is. And when you know who you are, don't worry, the courts don't like this because you're getting shit on the record that they don't want. Now, what I'm going to tell you to do is all the stuff that you've already read, you make sure that you get it into the clerk's window before the court bell rings, okay?
Okay, so I think the clerk opens at 10 o'clock, so I guess the court will probably be a few minutes later than that, so I'll be there on the spot at 10 o'clock.
Yeah, well, actually, the clerk's window generally opens, as far as I know, an hour or two ahead. So get there an hour ahead. And do you know how to properly serve? like tennis, by the way. I only serve aces. Do you know how to properly serve a clerk?
Just hand down the file and say you're served.
No, I don't even say you're served. Okay? Make sure you have the case file number written on every one of those documents. Okay?
Which I don't have, actually. Shit. Because I didn't take any documentation away with me last week, Kate, you see.
Oh, it's okay. You can just write pertaining to case file or to case legal name, Peter, whatever, okay? But just, again, it's about knowing the intent. Don't get caught in the complications and the details. This is where people, and I'm talking in general here, Pete, not just you. Okay, people get caught up in the literals like crazy. I've got to cross the T and dot this I and exclamation mark that, question mark, and all the rest of the shit. Once you know who you are, it doesn't matter because you're casting the spell from the heart, not from the paper.
Absolutely.
Afterthought is just effect, okay? But anyway, the proper way to serve a clerk is to walk in and go, you're the clerk? And they'll say, yes, here. Pass it through the wicket. Have a nice day. And that's it. And what I would recommend is taking the same documents, and this is just in case they want to play a little bit of hardball to get you into the docket. That's where you don't want to be, right? Stand on the other side of the bar. This is about standing your ground. It's not about, well, this is the rule. No, this is about standing your ground. But if you end up on the other side of the bar, make sure you've got all this paperwork, and then you throw it at the Crown's feet. It's served. I guarantee you that'll seal the court.
Okay. Now, when you talk about the bar, what does that mean, Kate? It's one of these newfangled courtrooms. That's just a section closer to the judge, is it?
Well, yeah. Typically, they have their line of demarcation somewhere on the floor, either carpet line or whatever. It doesn't really matter. Just get the concept here. Okay. Basically, the podium where the piece of shit prosecutor likes to dump his rabbit droppings is close enough for me. Just anywhere here and just served.
Okay.
And I've had courtrooms sealed just doing that. So I've dealt with a lot of people, and these are things that we learned along the way. And all these little tricks are getting more and more potent, especially with people knowing who they are. And the ones that really, really know who they are don't have to deal with court. You're in a position like many that are between the worlds right now. So let's get you through that. Yeah. So the concept behind I who shall not be legally named, yes? About putting your family member names?
Yeah.
Okay, that's to break all contracts. Okay, there's no more spiritual joinder with any of these. That would be the ex-wife, the child, mom, dad, any siblings. You get all their names written in there. I've got an example of mine on the website. I put it in anyone that you had a relationship with in terms of common law, anything over, I think, 6 months or a year, depending where you are, is considered common law. It's a spiritual contract. If you've gotten into a spiritual contract with someone, then that needs to be spiritually nullified. And I'll tell you why, because this is the outside-the-box part of the game that people miss. These are threads of connection. that if they can't get the name from you, if they know you've a spiritual contract with your ex and you haven't broken that, sound familiar, by the way, Pete? Yeah, thought so.
Yes,
okay?
Yes.
Then they'll go to the ex to get the name confirmed, because this is why anybody that has a marriage license and a divorce certificate are kidding themselves thinking that they're out of the system. Because not only does the court and the church, well, let's just call it what it is, right? The system owns the marriage and the divorce and the children and everything else involved with that, so that they can keep control of their slaves. Yeah. All right. So I would recommend to anyone that that has marriage licenses and everything else to you might want to consider using that for a bonfire starter or something. And don't get all sentimental about it. Divorce papers or whatever, all these are proofs that the system owns that part of your life. It was registered, they own it. Child was registered, they own it. Marriage was registered, they own it. Divorce was registered, they own it. And I can keep going on like a parrot here, but it's the same shit. If it's registered, it ain't yours. That simple. And if you registered it willfully, with your consent, you got no bitching rights. I love these people talking about, I have this right and that. No, you don't. You're a fucking slave. You gave up your rights. I am the right. I don't have rights. I said this morning, or this afternoon rather, I don't cut my rights in half. I don't give anything to anyone else. That's mine. My authority, my ability to choose. I wish no harm on anyone. All that I wish on anyone is that which they have wished upon me. In the mirror. 1,000-fold. I say that's pretty generous. Well, not to sort of, come against me in not very nice ways. And that applies across the board. I don't care if you're blood. I don't care if you're, lifetime friends. I don't care if you're one of the low-life Satan worshippers, little shetties like unstable Craig Nye or any of these other wankers out of the Guelph Police Services and any of the mayors involved. Karen Fartbridge, whatever the fuck her name is. But anyway, I'm just having fun here tonight, guys, so play along. All right, what I'm trying to do is to get you to lighten up and lose the fear of these idiots.
Oh, right. I have no fear, Kate. But it's like, as I said, it was great to read your documents again, and it really sunk home. I reckon the I am the witness. How can they possibly answer that in any kind of honor, And they can't answer yes, and they can't answer no, because they know who I am.
Well, see, that's the thing is, and this goes back to Steve Travesty. When he went in, he actually asked that in the court, and he came on the show with it. He asked, is it your, sir, I am the witness regarding or how did I put it? I am the witness to the name fraud being perpetrated here. Is it now your intent, not the court, not your? You make it living, okay? Is it now your intent to aid and abet me or entice me into slavery? And this is down in the U.S., right? This shit's the same everywhere. It's all Crown stuff. And the Crown prosecutor turns around. They call them DAs down there. Turned around and said yes. I said, okay, well, I don't want to play. Have a nice day. That's what I do. I just walk out. You get this answer, and it says, that's all I need to hear. Have a nice day, and you leave. And you deal with the shit later, because what's happened there, oh, we just lost Peter again. What's happened there is well, Steve got told the truth. And walk. You don't want to play the fraud game. And the only tool that these wankers have is fear. And the more fear they can generate in you, well, we're going to do this. They can't do shit. That's the joke. They got a big bag of air in a wet paper bag ready to just explode, right? And you're walking in there bristling like a porcupine. And they come anywhere near you. What do you think happens to that wet paper bag? Yeah. And that is the reality. Sounds almost science fiction, Kate. Yeah, that's why it's been so hard to get this point across to people. It sounds like magic, Kate. Yeah, because it is. And when you see the shield around you, when you finally see that shield around you, you see, that's where the responsibility finally kicks in, hardcore. And that's when the universe opens up and says, you're ready to take responsibility for yourself. You're ready to finally take upon yourself ownership of your own abilities to the level that you're ready for them. My deal's simple. It's just I only want that which I am capable of handling. Nothing more, nothing less. And I got to tell you, that's all I ever get, is exactly what I need, when I need it, why I need it, every single time. Without fail. So let me see. Let me get Peter back in here. All right, got you again.
Damn connection, it just keeps going, but I can hear you and I can listen back to the gaps anyway, Kate. But I say as well, silence is golden, and we have to first walk before we can run, and that's the main point. Once you get one case down, and you'll see your sort of levels of confidence in these truths rising, Well, leave them in, of course, but that will be the situation. And very grateful I am for your support and indeed all of the support of all at the Emerald table.
Well, that's what we're here to do, right? We do this together, so let's do it together.
Yes,
right?
Excellent.
That's how it works. That being said, breathe. Okay? You got to be willing to walk away from everything. Allow nothing, no emotional string to hold you at all, because the truth is, once you get this, not one legal document, not one legal ruling, not one legal piece of shit has any weight. And your ex can scream as much. Hang on, your ex can scream as much as he fucking wants, because you're untouchable. Now they have to go to the boy. Do you want to go with your dad? Yeah? Okay. You, missus, shut the fuck up and quit your whining. Get back inside. Okay, she wants to play in the system, then you let the system deal her, because what you're doing at this point as well is you're freeing your child. Okay, so anyway, that's that. Now, again, breathe. Babylon has fallen. There's a beautiful piece to throw into the clerk. Like right out of the gate. Make sure that's on top of the pile, period. Yeah. Because what you're putting in there is your mind, your thought, an agreement. It's like I said, these pieces of paper are empty grenades. You are the gunpowder. It's only what you comprehend. The aha moments you get are the gunpowder that is going to explode on the other side of that glass. Not the paper. It's paper. What does the paper say? Last time paper doesn't fucking talk. Okay? You do. What does the sign say? Nothing. I don't know. I've never heard a stop sign say, stop! It's got these squiggles on it. Now imagine someone that can only read Mandarin. Doesn't mean shit to them. That's why they use the little symbols and shapes. So anyway, let's get this table wide open here tonight. I was going to do the Phoenician starter kit. I really need a full-on 2 hours plus to do that. So we'll save that one for tomorrow night and really get through it. But let's get these lines open here and get everybody involved. And I want everyone to play nice tonight, because I'm in a real mute the mic sort of feeling tonight. Okay? So if people don't want to play nice and want to jump on top of everybody, then I will mute the mic out. No questions asked and no excuses taken. The only answer I accept any longer is okay. Okay.
Okay.
Fair enough.
Okay.
Those are the terms. That's the contract. I think we can all agree with that. Let's pass the feather gently tonight, please.
Oh, fucking K.
Okay, there's the serious one. Hi, Randy. How are you?
You're doing great. How am I?
Oh, you're beautiful as always. I know that, because all I have to do is look in the mirror and see that.
One thing I want to add is when you do... Whoa.
Okay, somebody's got some background noise. Can we please be mindful? Okay, let me just see who it is. No, not that one. No, not that one. Not that one. No, not that one. Unbelievable. Okay, who is it?
Katie.
Yeah.
We could do this really annoying jingle. We could run it every 13 minutes, reminding people about phone etiquette. No, I'm just teasing, but I thought it'd be kind of funny to mention that. Something that crossed my mind when you were speaking about when you know yourself, there's nothing they can do to you, and on the flip side of that, well, when you don't know yourself, there's all kinds of things they can do to you. But I mean, yes, that makes sense, right?
That's exactly it. That's the thing. If you are assumed to presume to be the legal name in any way, shape, or form, you are a system slave. Bye-bye, clapped in irons, lock you up. Okay? Or you can kind of go with the flow of, I know who I am. I'm certainly not no legal name. Please. That's yours, assholes. That's the fraud to begin with. It was done on the birth certificate. That's proof of fraud. The birth certificate says proof of fraud. So, but I know that. So if you want proof of that, live on the air, March 14th, Outside the Box, the confrontation, just look up on YouTube. Outside the Box, the confrontation. Starts, I think, at the 24-minute mark. It started at 20 minutes to get the feel coming into it. And just as a little background, I think I did, I'm not sure if I mentioned it that night, but it was just me, all by myself. Everything in my universe left is in my car with me, everything. And, expired plates, no VINs on the car, high-profile system target. That's why I was kind of, have I ever been targeted? Duh! Fucking 4 years I've been targeted. What are you talking about? Yeah. And the list goes on and on. Okay? What happened? No name. Have a nice fuck off. And they did. Because there's nothing they can do. Now let's very quickly and very succinctly go to the allegory to illustrate this in reality by using a fantasy that is real. You have vampires. Someone's breathing heavy in the phone. Please mute on your end, guys. I got the mics open. Okay? The reality is this. The elites or the dark principalities are the vampires. Okay? Let's all say that together. The dark principality are playing the role of the vampires. Okay? What do vampires have as their go-tos? Well, you can't have one without the other. You can't have vampires without werewolves. And, of course, they turn into wolves on a full moon. What is moon? It's all about emotions, isn't it? Right? So there we have it. Guys, the noise, please. You're killing me here.
Who is making popcorn? Come on now. Come on, have some respect for yourself.
Yes, those of us that wear headphones, it's quite painful.
Yeah, it really is. These are only $10 headphones, man. These speakers are just incredible fidelity. Better than digital. But anyway, so there we have it. The dark principalities, the elites, you can call them the pedophile popes, queens, and kings, and the rest of those wankers at the top and those that run those puppets. And who are the werewolves? Well, that's your military and, more importantly, frontline Narmer palette collection people called police or spirit seed lice. Police. Okay? Yeah, they'll take your spirit seed and eat off it. That's what lice do. Okay, I'm going to mute everybody out here. Fuck this. All right.
I'm already muted.
Okay. Because, guys, seriously, it hurts. physically. Comprende? I'm really not 100% yet. So I'm really not that motivated to keep going here. Okay? So please.
Can you hear me, sister?
Loud and clear.
Okay, sorry. Good. I when I'm done talking, I mute, even in conversation. Sorry, because, I might drop something. I might be annoying in some way. Anyway, I'm not perfect. We all know that. But I'm a god.
Yeah. Not only that, I mute myself as well as unmuting and keeping an eye on the board. Okay, yeah. So if I can handle the board muting and unmuting, I can handle my own. So please, again, it's just a courtesy, guys. Please.
I mean, if a loudmouth tranny can do all that, then come on, people.
Exactly. I'm not the man you are. Get on. But anyway, enough of the bitching and griping. The problem with truth is it's not that people can't accept it. It's that they don't want to.
Yeah.
Because of what it means to them. Oh, I don't get this and I don't get that. Oh, nanny state's gone and the diapers changed. Yeah, you got to stand up for yourself for a change here, guys.
It contrasts so drastically with the levels of indoctrination, Kate, doesn't it?
Oh,
sorry, go on.
No, I was going to say that's exactly it, Pete. And people have got to learn to break free of teacher-student, because that's what you're dealing with the courts. Teacher-student. It's just high school all over again and again and again.
And as you say, fear is a big factor. As you say, the guys with the blue suits on, the badges, pretend to carry so much weight, and then you have this fear instilled in people that if they're crossed, there's only one loser. But again, we know that's not the case now. If we carry ourselves correctly and we know exactly who we are.
And what I'm going to add is back to maybe 5-10 minutes ago of when you do stand in that truth. Like, I didn't know what the U.S. Marshals were going to do. I only knew what I was going to do. Right? Last week, right? When they were in the restaurant looking for a former employee who now has just handed my brother a sexual harassment suit against me, naming me, which they'll never get me because they can't get my name. And plus, I never did that. I don't do that. I know that. You all don't, but I would never do that to anyone. Plus, she was a Bull Dyke lesbian, and that's great, and I love her for it, but I don't have to like her. So anyway, is to stand there, and I put them both on notice. When I was calm, well, you guys just need to know when you're here, you're in my jurisdiction when I'm here, and so I'm putting you on my common law notice right now. You'll never get my name. How can I help you, gentlemen? Right? And the one guy said, well, sir, we're looking for so-and-so person. And he said, sir, he knew what was up, right? I said this last week. I guess repetition may help. And then the other guy wasn't asking any questions, and I was answering and asking them also. And so it was equal. I was assisting them in my common law way, which is my right. It is my will that I wanted to assist, to help them, do no harm, right? I don't know what she's done. I don't know why they're looking for it. It's not my business. So as they were leaving, the one gentleman said, thank you, sir, for your time. And the other guy said, yeah, man, thank you. And I said, no, you address me as sir. And I said it that calmly. I didn't say, no, I didn't do that. And he opened his eyes like, wow, that's a new one. And as they were walking to their vehicle, I could tell the senior guy was talking to him about it. So that seed grew really quick, didn't it? Mm-hmm. Right? With the one U.S. Marshal who didn't know what was up. Then that's how we can do it. That's just another way. I didn't know what they're going to do. I know they can't do anything to me without breaking their own oaths and laws.
Hang on, Randy. I want to remove any doubt that you just entered into there. They cannot do anything, and I mean this on the spiritual level. They cannot.
I'm going to restate that. Thank you. I'd love you for that. God, I love you. They can't do anything to me. They can't do anything to me because not only do I have all you God's love supporting me, I know they can't do anything to me, period. Because for one, 3 months ago when I caught that guy by the throat at the restaurant, right, who was stealing stuff at 2 a.m., someone's still making popcorn or chewing gum, but I love you. And so, those 7 or 8 cops that night didn't do anything to me when I put them on notice. So they can't do anything to me. Thank you. They can't do anything to me. I knew what I wasn't going to do any harm to anybody. There you have it. Thank you.
May I have the feather?
Yeah.
Yours?
Yes. Kate, this is Richard in Atlanta.
Richard, good to hear you, my friend.
Hey,
Same here.
Richard,
Hey.
call me Randy, and I used to live in Atlanta for like 12 years. Just want to say.
Well, great, Randy. Good to know that. And hello to everybody.
Hi, Richard.
All right. You laid a good foundation, Kate, tonight. You really did. I'm building the world, and you got VIP status anytime you want to come. Okay. Yeah, this is my point. I want to corner a position here on this table. I only take a 2-minute feather run here, and I'll hand it back. But these are some of the subjects that I'd like to work with, and I'm going to just give you the headers, and then I'll pass it over. Universal principle, which is known as natural law. Critical thinking, which is what I want to change to honest evaluation. The 7 heavenly virtues and its counterpart, the 7 sins. Okay. And I'd like to bring to bear what I have known in the spiritual world as the 3 big questions and an understanding of what you might call contracts or mutual agreements. Now, those topics right there, I am well versed in. Kate has laid a great foundation. No doubt it's impeccable. And I am truly grateful for all of her efforts and all of her work. It's as solid as it can be, and I see a giant castle standing upon it. So, anyway, I want to make that what I've just said my corner of expertise, and going out to Paul with Qabalah or Qabalah, however you want to say it. I can shorten that so that y'all can see that through a universal principle in natural law, and that we can take that next step up on the rung of the ladder, because I can transfer over to the spirit world and recall everything that was said to me coming into this world, so that what Kate is doing, we can get that momentum going, and everybody can see what that Christ consciousness looks like in character form. Okay? I've got the parts to it. When we were going through Qabalah with Paul's a researcher. He plainly said that I'm not involved in this stuff. I just research it. Okay? Qabalah was done thousands of years ago in Egypt. Since then, there has been many schisms developed from it. It is the root core of the knowledge that has given us everything, such as Catholicism, socialism, communism, and the most evil of all, capitalism. Now, going back to what I just said, contracts and mutual agreements, if you want to know details of how that works, once you understand what a true spiritual contract is, there is no need for government completely. So what you're looking at in the physical world, okay, is you're looking at the negative. You're looking at a reverse photograph of what is not a contract, just like Jesus spoke of. And please don't take me for a Christian because I come up that wrong.
Yeah, don't worry about
that now.
Richard, don't worry about even trying to explain that because we all know that character as being a truther radical. So nothing religio-cosus Chosenitis will ever be attached to that name at this table. So carry on.
Absolutely. Yeah, so that was a rung in my climb, and I still speak with the slave language. Okay, I'm American, as you can all tell. So, but again, I have rose above the slave. I have rose above religion. I have rose above science. And now I'm at that rung now where I have a universal relationship with all of you. We have this party line, okay? And from that corner that I sit at on that table, I wish I could offer you a pen and paper real quick like so you could write a few of these headers down. But let's go back and real quick, and I'll hand the feather over. Contracts, or what I refer to as mutual agreements, okay, this is within the Christ consciousness. This is what it's going to take for you to enter into eternity, okay? You're going to invoke this into your system, your character, your nature, okay? Understanding what a contract truly is, okay, the 4 elements, okay? That goes along with the 3 big questions. We all know those, right? Who am I? Where did I come from? Where am I going? Okay? And going back to Qabalah, you can see the breakdown of the Christ nature and universal principle, or what others call natural law. You can see it there. And then when you have the mind of Christ making a contract, you can use what people call critical thinking, which I call honest evaluation. At that point, once you understand those elements of what it means to be like Christ or be in Christ or have that Christ nature, then you have the doorway to eternity. Okay, you can now step into the spirit world and command and relate to spirit beings on that level. And think of the physical world as school, okay? And if you screw up, you end up in prison. But if you work out this stuff in time, see, time's a curse and it's a gift. It's also a blessing, depending on how you look at it. You can break down this stuff in time. But at some point, you're going to have to eat it, and it's going to have to come into your spirit, and you're going to have to bring it into your heart, okay? That's what Christ said when he was arguing with the Pharisees. He said, you think the law has within it the spirit. I say no. The law is dead. If you don't adopt the teachings into your heart, then you're doomed. Okay, that's the short side of it, but that's what he was talking about. If you think what's written on paper is going to save you, you're going to fail. Even though, from Kate's perspective, from the neutral standpoint, she's got the energy going in both directions, which I truly salute you, Kate. That's magnificent. That's really awesome work there. But if you think that piece of paper is going to save you, you're wrong. Mm-hmm. It shows only a mirror reflection, like a negative, off those old cameras that we used to have, those old Kodak cameras. We threw the negative away, but that reverse image was on there. The real image was the color image, the color of light. And that's the same way it is with truth and with what is written. What is written is the negative. You've got to put that knowledge into your spirit and live that. Mm. And once you got that, you have the Christ consciousness, and now you step into the universe. You're no longer a citizen of the United States or whatever, you call yourself. You are now a member, a being of the universe. You are infinite, and that is the nature of the Christ consciousness. All right. Let that sink in a minute. Yes. Well, let that sink in a minute, and I'm going to hand that feather very gently back onto that table. Okay, and thank you very much for that.
Beautiful. Absolutely beautiful words. And herein lies true education, to true knowledge. And that just resonated so much. I've written a lot of stuff down here, and really food for thought, amazing thought.
Here's a little something to back that up, Richard, because you're spot on. And thank you for the castle on the solid foundation allegory. It's beautiful. That castle, somebody told me once, build it and they will come. That's your castle. All I'm waiting for is, there it is. Go in and take your castle back. Kasel, that's your spirit of creation intent. Take your castle back. Surround yourself with the waters of truth in your modus operandi of as below so above in the law of truth, mote, which is also how you cast a spell, modus operandi, M-O-T-E, right? So here it is. Beautiful question from Clarity. And these are the things that hit home. And this is exactly what you were saying, Richard. And this is what I've been trying to get across, and I think you've put it across better than I ever have. So here it is. This one's from Clarity. Thank you so much. Great comments. Is breaking spiritual contract through intent enough, or would it be better to also rescind signature, using example of marriage or divorce papers? And I wrote back very quickly. I'm going to expand on this just a little bit, and the feather goes on. I wrote, all that is needed is to mentally break the contracts. And that's really all this is. You see, because all the paper is a binding in the literal physical. Now let's take a piece of paper. Why is the paper white and the writing black? Well, only in the yang can you create. Not in the yin. That's created. That's light. So what's happening there is the yan or yang has been taken over in the sigil. I would be interested, as Richard was talking, I'd be interested to see the effect of an all-black document with all white letters. A little hard to write on that, isn't it?
Yes. Just one more moment with the feather. Okay.
Please, go. I'm done. Good.
Yeah, perfect. Okay, let me show you the 4 elements of a true contract, which none of those, your birth certificate fits none of them, okay? It's a total fraud, okay? Get that. Kate has demonstrated it completely. And let me show you the living end of a contract. She has demonstrated the fraud. Let me show you the living end of it, okay? Now, whatever you call this is going to embrace you. Number one, the first element of a contract is a meeting of the minds. The second is full disclosure. The third is equal consideration. And number 4 is signature, or what Kate would refer to as seal, which I agree with. Okay, now let's step back up to number 3. Equal consideration would end every government, every ism on planet Earth. Okay, there would be no such thing as capitalism, socialism, communism, Catholicism, or any other form if there was true equal consideration. Okay? You should walk away with a bushel of potatoes for a bushel of wheat. You understand that? In allegory. You know what I mean? Yeah. If you had an endless source of energy, why would you cheat me? Right? It would make no sense. So if you can, let me go through that one more time for people trying to scribble this down. What is known as contract or mutual agreement. I'm going to give you the 4 elements one more time. Number 1, meeting of the minds. Number 2, full disclosure. Number 3, equal consideration. And number 4, signature/seal. Now, I can demonstrate that in 1,000 different ways. I can show you how it relates to Qabalah. I can show you how it relates to the court systems. I can show you how it relates to every religion, every science. I could go on for days. But what's the point? If you look at those 4 elements right there in a contract, think of yourself as a truly honest being, having the hand of whatever you call it, God or whatever, the Spirit, inviting you into the realms of the heavenly host and forever being among them. Because those 4 elements is how you would relate to them. Now, you could go on and you could look at universal law, which is what some people call natural law or universal principle. You could break those 7 pillars down and you could see exactly how they tie in to the 7 sins, the 7 virtues, the 7 chakras, and all of that is what they were wearing themselves out with Qabalah in Egypt. And Kate, back several months ago, showed how Mother Earth got so sick and tired that she just sent a flood down on it and knocked that freaking shit down. So if you want to go back and dwell on Qabalah, or if you want to go there, that's fine. It'll show you a breakdown of the relationship of organs in your body to the planets, to the galaxy, to the universe. Okay, but when they start naming all that stuff and describing all that stuff, that was their time. Okay, so Von Boehmer does a great job in bringing some of that stuff up to date. But ultimately, we all know this. Okay, we all know this. And the 7 principles is all you really got to comprehend. And I'll run through them real quick, and then I'm going to hand that feather over because, I know other people want to talk, and this is a great show. So real quick, if you got your pen in your hand, let's go through them one more time. I said this the other night, but we'll go through them one more time. The universal principles, or what is known as natural law, start out at the top. Number 1, mental. All is mind. Number 2, correspondence. Number 3, vibration. Number 4, polarity.
Richard, can I get you to start it? I want to get you to start that again. But while you're reading these out, I want people to list the zodiac from Aries.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah, it's there too. Yeah, exactly.
Okay, so
exactly.
it's going to. I want to show you the unification of all. See, here's the thing. Too many people stare at the literal. I look at all of the literal and see where it all connects. So keep that in mind. You got Aries, Taurus, Gemini. Remember what these things rule.
Yep.
Cancer, Leo, Virgo, Libra. So carry on, my friend.
Beautiful, beautiful. Okay, number 1, mental. Okay. Number 2, correspondence. Number 3, vibration. Number 4, polarity. And there's the heart. Number 5, rhythm. Number 6, cause and effect. And number 7, gender. Now there's your body right there, from head to genitalia. Right there, all of that in that line is who you are. And if you, think of this right here. When you light that up, you become a literal star. When you look up in the sky at night, what you're seeing is those who have done that very thing. Okay? Forget what science taught you about hot balls of gas and all that stuff. When you light yourself up, when you get that energy working in your life through these methods, you will light up. Period. And you will enter in to what Jesus said when he said, and again, I'm not speaking of him as from a Christian standpoint. I'm looking at him strictly as allegorical. when he said, don't look for heaven outside of yourself, and that's what Kate's been telling you all along. If you think it's out there, it's not out there. It's inside. It's inside. And once you do, the kingdom of heaven is within. That's a fact. And I can light that pineal gland up, and I can cross over any time I want to. And I'm telling you, right now, this is coming from Spirit, through me. And my heart is flittering so fast right now, I could go supernova on this. So I'm gonna hand the feather back over and let someone else have it.
You just don't have the feather, Richard. You got the whole damn bird. I'm scripting away goodo, you know. That's beautiful. And I got the shivers and shakes as well, listening to your last couple of sentences.
Yeah. So you feel
spot
that,
on,
don't you?
Spot on, mate. That was beautiful. That was beautiful, mate. That was lovely. Hi, Kate. Hi, everybody.
Hello.
Paul.
Good to hear you, Paul.
Hey, what's up?
Beautiful, brother.
What's up, Paul?
Yeah, all right, Rich. What's happening, mate? Yeah, man. That was beautiful, mate. You know, put any
Yeah, it was.
But the reason what you're saying, what I was saying, me being a researcher, Richard, is I'm not practicing the literal magic, mate. Because you know we're reaching, as you said, the isms. There's another ism we need to get rid of, and that's Kabbalism. Do you know what I'm saying? That's what the Qabalah is. Kabbalism. All types, mate, whether it be Hermetic. I'm reading this stuff, but I'm not practicing the literal side, which I don't know about you, Richard. You probably know that stuff really does work. When you're calling up, you said the four pillars, mate. The four pillars. Do you know what I mean? That would be Michael, Uriel, Gabriel, and Raphael. When you can look at them as an anagogic aspect, you could say Michael's all man. He's all man. Gabriel, she's female, but she's all woman. I would say a bit of a butch kind of gal. And then you've got Raphael, who you could say is a bit feminine. Do you know what I mean? Like Kate, Raphael, like Kate. And then you've got Uriel, who's all woman. Do you know what I'm saying? And as you'll know yourself, earth, air. Do you know what I mean? Earth, air, water, and fire. That's the elements with the universe, and the Bible clearly states at the start in the Bereshit, in the Torah, it clearly states the firmaments were created from earth, air, wind, earth, air, fire, and water, the four elements. And then also you have ether. Do you know what I'm saying? It's like you could look at it through your senses. 5 senses they say we have, but we've really got 6 senses. You could get into the maths, Richard. If you could try to get into the maths side and explain some of this, that would be really nice. But where I was coming from, I don't practice the literal magic, mate. Because, calling up the tetragrammaton, you can use the tetragrammaton to call up angels, but you also need Michael. You need Michael in the circle, because Michael is Michael, the three. You split him into 3 and you put it in 3 points. It's a triangle and a circle. And you would stand in the circle and use the tetragrammaton and bless the 4 corners, north, east, south, and west. Also referencing the holy 4, if you want to call them, the archons, the watchers. But they're the highest watchers. They are the highest. Do you know what I'm saying? As some might see that Michael could even be God. Michael could be the physical. He made this because we're in flesh. We're of earth. You know this, Richard? We're of earth, brother. You know what I'm saying? We're of earth, water.
I got you, Paul.
Air,
and
fire,
I listened to every word you said the other night. And I listened intently. And I fully comprehended that you are well researched on Kabbalism, and I truly understand the depths of the time you have spent there. And I salute you for it, because I too understand.
Richard, people don't understand when you start to really look at some of this stuff, and you say, yeah, I'm going to stand in the truth. I mean, really stand in the truth. I'm going to fucking go for it. And then you research it all, and you start to look at the Gaia, and the Lemingtons are calling up demons. Do you know what I'm saying? This shit works. These people were calling up demons, golems.
Okay.
Yeah, you know
okay,
this.
I've had
harvesting souls, brother. Yeah, if you look at the Kabbalism, the Jews plainly state we are harvesting people's souls for God, to bring God back. You know what I'm saying? They're making physical golems of clay. We're of clay. The body's of clay. Do you know what I'm saying? That's the way to look at it as a Kabbalistic, what they call them, a clean. We're of clay, brother. But we are, it's like, I would call it a spacesuit. That's what we're really walking in. This is just a spacesuit. You know what I'm saying? People think, oh, this is great. Look how beautiful my spacesuit is. It's like, yeah, it's kind of cool, mate.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Aloha.
Can I make one more point on that, and then I'm done? Okay. Yes, Paul. No argument at all. I just want you to know, all of you to know, that if you need information about the universal law, the 7 heavenly virtues, the 7 sins, the 3 questions,
7 doubles,
a contract or critical thinking, I would ask that you would come to me, because I do have, it's not just that I study the text, okay? I actually see these things. I actually experience these things. And when you speak of Michael and all these others, I've looked at them. I've related to them. Okay?
I believe you, Richard. I do actually really believe you, my friend. Because you know yourself, it's gates. It's gates. People think these gates are it's all just nonsense. This is what clearly states with these layers. 32 paths. 32 paths. You've got 32 paths which create 231 gates. And if you can just get past one of those gates, and you'll be, and I don't know, Richard, were you presented with this, you'll know the biblical text. Did you see the cherubim? That's the first you have to get past in the door. But did you see the cherubim?
Well, it depends on what you call cherubim.
Cherubim with their fiery swords, brother.
Right. Well, no, I'm not going to say that I have seen what you're talking about. I don't know that. But I will say this. There is an overseer that is teaching you on a spiritual realm. Now, whether you want to call it a Lord, a God, or whatever, I don't know. Whatever you call that. But that being does control whether or not you step into the spiritual world. And we are in the modern age. That was for another time, and that's how they understood it. They were operating on different levels of consciousness.
Richard,
we are operating on a lower realm of consciousness, so you've got to make it simple.
I know what you're saying, Richard, but can you fully trust the downloads? Because I had one a couple of months ago, mate, and it was strange. And it basically says, they talk about the reptilians. The reptilian mind. We are reptilians. Do you know what I'm saying? We are the reptilian race. So if you want to look at it, we are that race. And that was saying, you know what I mean? These are crazy downloads, and it's like, well, do you believe this? Do you not believe this? This is like your mind spinning at 1,000,000 miles an hour at 5 in the morning. Do you know what I mean? Do you believe this shit? Do you know what I mean? Richard, you laugh, mate, but when you study some of this stuff, it's really deep and round, and it can really, if you don't look at it and go to this place, try to be in the straight path, mate. Don't go, you know what I mean? Don't get polarized, but you try to keep this straight path, and strange things happen, and people, I've had to tell you some of the things I've seen. People would say you're nuts, but they're mine. But I'm not nuts. I mean, I'm a bit nuts. Do you know what I mean? But you know what I mean? And it's up to you, Richard. If you want to, you can do some really literal stuff with this, and I mean that's practicing magic. And Richard, as you know, with oaths, any verb you do, if I say to you, go and make me a cup of tea, and you say yes, mate, that's a verbal oath. Do you know what I mean? Jesus says never swear an oath, right? And he also says never practice magic. Learn it. It's called magus. Practice it. It's called occultus. Go and read Agrippa. That he clearly states the exact same, and a lot of people in the Hermetic orders are going with Cornelius Agrippa's work. And this is magic. Jesus says, don't practice magic. You're a spiritual being. What do you need to practice? That's conjuring.
Okay.
And
well,
like you said it today, Kate.
Let's get it simple, okay? Now, it's like this. We witnessed the magic, and this is the Yellow Brick Road, Interstate 60 that I talk about, where things are just, whoa, you start seeing it. Phoenician phonics explodes it all. What happens when you're in a neutral observer position is you don't have to wield magic. You get to see it, but this is where the higher self takes over. It's when we, of the demon mind, physical body, try to take that upon ourselves. This for me has been the toughest breaking apart. Okay, and that's where you get into the neutral zero point of no emotions, nothing, and it's just breathe, let it go, get within it. So I don't want to get too technical or too literal on this stuff. This is exactly what I don't want. Okay, but the ones that are practicing magic are defying creation itself.
Exactly, Kate. They're horrible people. They're doing this stuff they're doing this stuff for their own delight and their own want, and you can conjure these things and get knowledge, and they'll tell you stuff, and they'll even tell you where buried treasure is. It tells you in the glacier. If you want that, they'll tell you that. They'll make you rich. Do you know what I'm saying?
That's a fool's journey.
You'll know, Richard, at the end, if you go creating contracts with any what I would say demons or of the dark side, do you know what I'm saying? If you go contracting with them, well, when you get put into this ground back to the earth, then you're not getting a robus, and you're not getting this, what the Buddhists would say, reincarnation. Like Kate says, if you didn't get this, you get sent back. You get sent back until you can fully conquer a Roboros. Do you know, and actually get that. You know, I'm not going to swear, but you actually get out of here. Do you know what I mean? And that's only when you become Euphukis, the Christ warrior, and that's when you get that snake in it. You know what I mean? And one hand and the other, and our tail in your foot, and that's how you will be free. And that's only becoming, like Richard said, the Christ consciousness. As I said on Monday, the Messiah is a force, it's not a person. The Judaic, you go and read the Torah. As I say, there's another reason why I'm not a true Kabbalist, because true Kabbalists read the Torah every single day for hours, because they're looking for words, and they're also looking to start to correlate things, especially with words and numbers. And I'm not into that. Do you know what I mean? That's what true Kabbalism is. I'm just reading.
You know what it reminds me of? Cannibalism.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, it's a powerful force, and you know, Paul, I love everything that you say, and Rich too. And you know, the other thing is too is I say some things too that might not resonate, or I might not completely understand. But I follow the path. If it doesn't apply, you know, let it fly. You know, I'm all about truth. I want to hear what it is that's connected, and have my heart, you know, centered in that intent. You know. Because in truth, the only thing that I can be or will ever be is who I am, you know, and I'm perfectly content and satisfied with that. Everything else is just, the bells and whistles or whatever, you know what I'm saying? But if that's what I've recognized and realized, and you know, you talk about, see, that's the thing is, see, I've seen these they're 5 pillars of light. That's the thing that I was trying to explain, is that literally when I was meditating, I shattered my pineal gland, fired it up. I released an illumination out of the top of my head. I felt a pressure, and it released. I don't know if it came out of my left eye, my left ear, the top of my head, but the top of my head, literally, there was a pressure. I felt like I weighed about 10,000 pounds. I could not move. I was frozen. This light was released, and then it shattered, took off at light speed, probably, right? 186, whatever. It took off and illuminated the whole friggin' sky. Illuminated it, right? Within about a minute or two, that illumination disappeared, and directly in front of me, what I saw were 5 rays of light. There were pillars, columns, candlesticks. That's why I think these names that they talk about, Islam prays to these 5 rays. They were golden. On top of everything, and there was 5 of them, and they moved through each other, to and fro. They had the same height, same width. They kept moving back and forth, to and fro, through each other. That lasted several minutes. Once that left, I sat and contemplated the whole thing. I got up off my bed, walked down my stairs, And before I hit the bottom step, there was a complete restoration, a restoring, and a memory of who I am. It was restored to me. And I remember that more so when I was a little child, when I was a kid. I said, that's who I was when I was 10 or when I was 5. There were moments where I recall that memory. That's what's missing within us, you know. And the only words I could use to describe the memory of that, which, you know, it's not going to be too shocking because I hear many people saying this, is I am. I said, I remember who I am. My family said, well, who are you? I said, it's just, I am. Those were the only words I could use to utter that. It has no name. That's why when you guys say, I hear Kate saying that, right, that Christ consciousness, that it doesn't have a name. It's a frequency. It's an energy.
Right, this is where we're going with this, Richie. When you look at...
Wait 1 minute, Michael. Can I say, Richard? Rich, man, that's the best I've heard you speak yet in the show, mate. You've been clear and precise. You've not stuttered. And do you know what I mean? Good on you, mate. That what you shared there at the table, that was deep, mate. And I know you were coming through your heart with that. And that's the best you've been on the show so far. You keep to that tempo, Rich. You know what I'm saying, mate? Because that was, brother.
Thanks, brother. I appreciate that. And that's my goal, man.
Well, that's the true goal of everything. Enough of the glory story. Let's get down to the nitty gritty of the core, the Corey story, right? And this is what it means to take your time. And Michael, jump in here, my friend.
Well, what you're kind of getting at is when you have these programs, and we could call them cosmic programs if we're talking about the chakra system, and the 7 seals, the spiritual program, even if you want to put that. And what happens is, what ends up happening is you eat it. This is what 7 goes when it goes from 7 to 8. You eat it all. You internalize. You recognize, like you said, I am all that is. It's you. And so in this way, it's no longer outside of you. And when we tune into that, there's a few things I was going to get at, but what we're coming to is the unbegotten. We're coming to that before time and space, before the Big Bang. We're coming to our connection to this eternal source, where we're not in this division or separation. We're not playing with the old systems, whether we talk about the matrix system, but again, we're talking internal here. So we have this internal system, the 7 seals, the 7 chakras, and part of this is when you're practicing magic, and you can put the tree of life or the Qabalah on it, or the chakra system on it. What tends to happen is you access some power, and you think, oh yeah, let's play with this. Where the true goal is to go through it is to recognize you have that power and let it go and rise. And so once again, you go all the way again, and you let it all go because you know you're greater than that. So if you stop yourself there, literally you're playing with magic that isn't, it's going to burn you.
And on that, so I'm just going to jump in here, Mike, because we got 18 minutes to roll over. I wasn't going to roll over, but I will. I'm going to actually ask Mike or whoever just to keep an eye on the board. I know Mark's on the board as well. I've got to do a little bit of cooking. I'd like to eat something today, so I was going to do that after the show because I can never do it before a show. But anyway, so I'm going to do that. But in the meantime, I'm just going to do the critical mass jingle because I want to check out the volume level I've got it set at. And just a great big thank you. And much better manners tonight, boys and girls. Thank you very much. This is the way a table talk needs to be without all the jumping over top of everybody. It's kind of a little bit here and there, but the tinkling here and there is far more tolerable than the smorgasbord that it generally turns into. So my greatest and humblest appreciation and gratitude. Thank you. It helps no one when there's chitter chatter and nonsense going on. Okay, so that being said, great big thanks to Paul Giovanni for Critical Mass. And, I could probably keep this playing because it's, is it going? Well, I want to make sure.
As a listener, that was the best exchange ever.
Oh, there it is.
Yeah.
We got feedback with someone. You might want to mute your mic, please. Yep, I can hear it. Speakers, mute them out.
Their walls are falling. The momentum is now with us. It's our time now. At the most pivotal point in history is Critical Mass Radio, 24/7 Truth Radio. Help us to help you. Please go to www.criticalmassradio.co.uk and subscribe £1, £2 or £3 a month. The critical mass has been reached. We must come together. We must stand together. For ourselves, for each other, for our future generations. criticalmassradio.co.uk. Now, it's our turn.
Okay, there you go. And we do have a lot of background noise, guys, but Mike, Mark, whoever, take it out for a little bit. I'm still here, and there's Bob. I'm still here, so I'm just going to be listening.
Can I step
Good
in
morning.
one more time here? I'm sorry, Bob, go ahead.
Good morning.
Morning, Bob.
Yeah, I have something to... Good morning, you beautiful people. Yeah, I have something to share, and I'd like to share it under the feather, under that sacred process of the talking stick, and I'm sure you're all aware of that protocol. And my reflection today, I'm really, really tired at the moment. I've got a trapped nerve and my left arm's paralyzed, so I haven't slept tonight, but I'm feeling calm and centered, and I'd just like to continue the tradition of the ability to share the truth at this table. So under the feather, and I'm holding the feather, I'll just give you my take on what's happening for me. I know who I am. My goal is inner peace. My intention is that I am here to have a joyful, gentle, loving and abundant life. I know my truth and I stand in my truth. All my answers are simple. For me, religion is thinking, spirituality is knowing, and my knowing words. And one of my truths is that all I have is my truth. And I really love, honor, and respect everyone that comes to the table to share their truth. But for me, it is just simply their truth. Please do not interrupt. What is happening for me is in maintaining my inner peace. I totally let go of the need to understand anything. So, yeah, my life is blissful. So thank you all for sharing your truth, and thank you all for your greatest gift, your time and attention. And for now, I'll place the feather back on the table. Namaste.
I want to humbly grab it one more time, because I'm getting another download here, and I just want to give this to you in the spirit of show and tell. I give you my best. Okay? I truly do, from the bottom of my heart. As above, so below. Okay? All right. So look at the fact that you were ejected into the womb, and out of all of that spermia, you made it to the egg. All of your co-runners stuck to the wall of the fallopian tube. They got bogged down in their consciousness. But you raced forward to the goal, and you penetrated that egg. And when you did, when you stepped into that egg, your mother's womb assisted you by closing the door, and you were born. And all of that other nonsense behind you that couldn't get it together was flushed out to start again. But you, the winner, were born. And for 9 months, your mother rocked you in the womb, and then, through much pain, gave birth to that beautiful little baby. And you've had your life now. When you look up into the stars at night, those stars are those cells, those spermia, whatever you want to call it, moving ahead of you. And they're heading toward the center of the galaxy, that big black hole. And they want to inseminate that. And that will give birth to another world. And so on, and so on, and so on, through eternity. So let go of your shit and get in it, because the race is on. Embrace that Christ consciousness, and don't get sent back to start over again. Let go of your baggage. Grab hold of that energy. Take what I have given you thus far and think about it, and that Christ consciousness is what's going to happen in that womb. You will be born again. As long as you get that creation, as long as you get that understanding of what Jesus taught us, what's it going to take to get through that womb? That's what it is. Just get that nature, and you will step into that heaven forevermore. It's magical. It's beautiful.
Yeah, Richard, like you're saying,
yeah.
The Christ consciousness, the Christ consciousness would be Metatron, and Metatron speaks for God. So for you to become the Metatron, you have to stand in truth and speak for God, and that is standing in the truth, and that's being the Christ consciousness. That's standing in truth.
Hey guys, is Pete still on this call?
The truth is, though, all these religions and all these other things are here to polarize you. They're here to polarize you. That's what they're really. So you'll say, oh, I'm a Muslim, oh, I'm a Jew, oh, I'm a Christian. When we are one,
you're going to get flushed out if you're any of those things. Yeah. You're going to end up in the toilet.
Yeah.
Define me, limit me. Define me, limit me.
Hey, it's Borean. Is Pete still on this call? Pete? They called in? Did he get dropped out?
I don't know if he heard you. He'll speak up.
Well, he showed up on a perfect night. Is just what I wanted to mention. That Pete is getting the power that this table has to bring, and each and every one of us, we stand in our own truth. And what we do is we power each other up when we do all that. And it sounds like Pete it sounds like he's ready to get over that fear so he can step into that.
Yeah, we're a team.
We lost Borean.
Oh, lost them.
And the universe will back you up 1,000%. Every time you stand in your truth. Please don't get too...
Oh. Jumped out.
Oh. Am I back in the call?
Hey, Rich, man, that was beautiful.
Peter.
Paul, Rich, everyone.
Yeah. My connection just keeps dropping all night, so I won't apologize anymore, but that's why I'm coming and going.
I like Richard's reminder about the stars, and this is what people should realize. We are generally locked into one perspective, what generally science has told us. This is what is in the sky, this is what a planet is, this is what a star is, and we're recognizing quite differently. And that's the thing, when the stars at night become brighter and brighter, it becomes the undifferentiated light that we are. And that's what you will see.
I think there's so much truth going on tonight, Mike. It actually resonates. I can feel my body vibrating with it. You know, it's an amazing feeling, and it's definitely there's something going on tonight with myself. That's what I'm feeling, and it's definitely resonating through the ether, I think, you know.
So let's dial it in a little.
Have you got court tomorrow, Peter? Have you got court tomorrow?
Yeah, I'm up for a public order offence because I tried to pick up my child last week. So and I'm very grateful again to all the contributors here, and Gaia, she knows very well.
Sorry, you said earlier, silence is golden. Remember that, brother. That is. If you want to go and look at Dura, famous painter, he drew 9 drawings. They used them in the movie to do with the 9 gates with Johnny Depp. But that's a Martinus thing. But one of these drawings is a knight. It's called Fortitude. And the knight has it. He's on a horse and he's going into a town and he has his fingers on his lips. And that's what you need to be tomorrow, my friend. You need to be the knight with your fingers on your lips, because silence is golden. And as Kate said, you know, oaths.
Paul. Yeah, again, thanks very much. And not to get too literal on it, but I know that, you know, everything I do say can be open to interpretation, you know, from that side. So yes, I intend to put in the document and ask the main question. I am the witness. Do you intend to entice me into slavery, you know, etc. And that's it. And just get an answer to that.
Yeah, I would.
There you go.
Yeah. Ask your question and then silence. Silence is open, brother. Kate, she told you what to do. And then
leave it at that.
Hey guys.
Yeah, you jump at funny
in association.
And then use your own intuition.
Hello.
Yeah.
Hey guys.
We're jumping.
Yeah, hang on a minute. We might have a bit of lag here and there. Hi, it's Mark here.
Yeah.
Aloha.
Paul, you brought up a great point. So let's talk
about
Aloha.
And this is what I'd like to get clear on. You don't make statements. All you do is ask questions, right?
Questions, yeah.
And that's why it's like the silence is important, because a lot of times, and this just isn't in a courtroom, this is in our life. This is where it's generally played out. And we got to remember that
Michael,
also.
The drawing's called Fortitude.
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 I've taken so many notes tonight. What an interesting night. But again, every night is interesting. Paul, what an amazing mind you have, along with the rest. I'm just in awe. My jaws dropped to it with such admiration for my fellow gods. You know, I'm a kind of a baby god in a sense, but I'm getting there. You know, I'm getting there.
We're all here.
Here's the point, guys, that Richard was talking about earlier, and I'd like to bring up clearer, and this is something that's just coming clearer. Where is this galactic core? I'm telling you, I'm sharing with you, it's a lot closer than you think. Yes, we all have a fractal of it. We are a fractal of all, so we have it inside of us. But if you want to talk about it even on an inner verse, or if you want to look outside, that galactic core is a lot closer than you've been led to believe. Listen, that you've been led to believe. So junk all those numbers that have been attached with distance when we're talking about the universe and where our reach is, so to say. The galactic core is close. It's right here. And when you tune back into it, you can talk about black hole. What I'm seeing is, no, we're already in the center. We're already in the core. And it's simpler for me. It's just coming clear. And this is great that people are tuning in and sharing their perspectives, because it sure is helping me see the picture clearer. And this is something that's totally resonating with me when we recognize, when we look up in the sky, as we're recognizing that it's more than just stars, and you just scrap this whole sense of distance, and you bring it into like I said, these words are coming, because when we talk concave Earth, that we're inside and stuff like this, that the words aren't quite expressing the picture quite clearly yet, but they sure are bringing it into view. And when we do this, when we tune into like our hearts, we say, when we tune into our hearts, we're connected at all. We're connected to all. And now we're recognizing when we do that, what's shining forth is this connection to the core. Some people call it the galactic core, the core of all, the center, the 0 point. And it isn't a sense of distance. When you tune back into the core, that sense of it being far away is gone. It's very personal and intimate. You don't have to go anywhere to be there.
Yeah. It's like you could say, Michael, you could put the Kabbalistic tree, right, put that matching the body, because you can make it match the body, and you could say that that's the square, as I said, they're mentioning squares and circles. You could say the body's a square, right? So you need to find, as it says in Sefer Yetzirah, how God created everything. Well, your God, you need to find your centre point, because God created everything. What He done was He created in 6 directions, and then rested in the centre point. That's how you get north, south, east, west, and then up and down. That's the 6 points, Michael, do you know, with that. And God rested in the centre point, you know, the centre point of it all. So when people see the Star of David, you see the 6 points, but it's actually representing 7 points, because you have the centre point. So all the stars, everybody say, oh, that's a 12-pointed star. It's actually not. It's a 13-pointed star, because it's got the point in the centre. Where you, that's your point. You could see in magical ceremonies you use them, you know what I mean, you would physically put them on the floor and stuff, and they would sit in that point, and they would get major downloads from, as I say, do you know what I mean, whoever you want it to be. But you get these downloads naturally if like you're standing in the truth. It's God, you're standing in the truth, and you say, give me the truth. I can't know it all, because as the Jewish perspective would be, they call it Zum Zum, you know, and the Zum Zum would blow your mind. There's rabbis who have climbed a tree and literally blew their mind, do you know? But the whole thing is, you need to find your centre point. You know what I'm saying? And like Kate says, try and keep balanced. As you want, if I get into a scientific look upon it, you've got positive, negative, and you've got an intermediate force, Michael. That's you know, go and look at your electrons and neutrons, and it's always the same. It's always the free. It's always the free, brother. You've got positive, a negative, and a neutral. Do you know what I'm saying? And that's you need to be the neutral point, and the only way you can get your neutral point is get to your centre of you and find you. You know, people say you have 2 souls. You've got one down here and one in heaven. Do you know, there's a chord and all that matching them. Well, I don't know about that. Like, I don't know about that. I think you do. You have one soul, but you need to find it. Really, really find who you are, and that's getting to your central point.
This is why they call it an intelligence. So we're not. If you see where you're in that center, and you see the seed of life, the flower of life, the 7-pointed star, or 13-point star, what generally is you're going out from that center, right? You're going out. And what we'll remember is to come back to the center, because in the core there's no differentiation. Well, there's no separation in the differentiation, right? And where we get confused is we go out in these rays and forget our core. And then there's division. We come back to the core, we're connected to all. There's no longer separation in the differentiation. This is really how we keep it in tune, and we no longer get distorted and go down these so-called other paths. And
you could say, as soon as you affiliate with something, Michael, you've contracted with it. Do you know? As soon as you affiliate with something, that's you've contracted with it, and that's you. You could say you've become polarized. You know, it's like people supporting a baseball team. Do you know what I'm saying? Or a football team. They're kind of you could say they're polarized because they're not looking at other football teams or whatever. You know what I'm saying? It's just, there's hundreds of tricks down here, Michael, and traps that will polarize you. when it stays in the towers, you can't get polarized down here. You get polarized down here, you get trapped.
That's what I'm saying. At one point, one of the things you have to do is you have to eat it. You have to take it all in. That way, you don't see it outside of yourself. So you're no longer polarized, and what you do then is silence.
Yeah.
So you don't tune back into. All right, so you're no longer at effect, and in a moment, you're no longer, so to say, causing anything. You're in that neutral. You're letting the universe be the driver here, and you're in tune with it. So you can, as you say, take the straight shot up or in. No need to zigzag. No need to your mental state to polarize you through this.
Yeah. Well, it's like Albert Einstein. You go and look at Albert Einstein. You could say he's one of the smartest mathematicians who's ever been down here, right? He said everything is energy. There's nothing else to it. That's a fact, right? He says match the frequency to the reality you want, and you cannot help but get that reality. That's he says, and that's not philosophy. That's physics. That's how he ends that statement. Do you know what I'm saying? And Albert Einstein, he was a wise man, but he also was a spiritual dude. Do you know what I mean? There was a spiritual aspect to Einstein. As if you want to go, he was a Kabbalist. You know, and when you study Kabbalist and mathematics, then gates really do get open. Really do, like that. But that's something I can't do because I'm not very mathematical. You know, it's not my thing. It's never been my bag. But there's people out there who really do open gates through the number, because you can't just go with the word as well, because the numbers. You know, look at the letter 5. The number 5. You go and look at the ancient, like say Arabic style. The 5 is actually a T and a G. That's a reference to the tetragrammaton and the 5 points. Number 5. Go and look at it. Break it down. It's a T and a G. That's referencing the tetragrammaton. That's a fact.
And when you see these things being misused, stand in your truth
you off.
And cancel them.
Yeah.
Is this on?
Yeah, it's on, Darren, man.
You have to.
No, I agree with you.
You can stand in that truth. Look what's before you. If they're wearing an emblem, you can't even stand in your own truth. You got to have a freaking emblem on. Take the power of their emblem away from them, because no, it's truth. It's truth in form. It has a root in form. You want to believe in Metatron? At least take that as a truth.
Yeah.
His truth, what he delivered.
Who was Metatron? He was Enoch. Enoch was a man like us. So
and he was a mathematician.
Metatron. We are Metatron. Enoch was Metatron. Yeah. He was just a man, being men and women.
He was a mathematician.
We were the same clay.
He was a mathematician.
Yeah, exactly.
It's always before you.
Like to go on the board. Some mathematicians with some, you know, there's one or two I like. Stan Tenen. Stan Tenen's a intelligent man. Like some of his work.
For our brother that's going to court tomorrow, I put a video up on the Lighthouse, Amy Cuddy, TED Talk. You can boost your truth. You can change the level of your cortisol. You can actually chemically change your mindset by simply standing or sitting in a power pose. It's a 20-minute video that's well worth it.
Well, Pete, tomorrow, be strong, Pete, because as Kate says, there's, 1 million people listening to Kate's radio show every night. So there's 1 million people know you're going to court tomorrow, brother, and they'll be behind you. They'll be behind you, do you know what I mean? They'll be thinking of you. They'll be in, you know what I mean? You'll be in their thoughts. Hello?
Did everybody get booted?
No, I couldn't tell you. I'm going to be quiet.
I'm listening.
Chime in, mate.
Everyone's being beautiful. I mean, I personally am. My heart is kind of racing a bit, and granted, it is warm here, but I'm not hot yet. I'm burning up, right? I'm going to have to listen to this show again. There's so much great, wow, everything, truth. And I just, whoa, God, I look so forward to being able to see all you spirits together and just have such a celebration. I really do. I love it, and thank you all.
Yeah. Randy, that's quality.
Yeah, beautiful. Thank you, Randy. Beautiful.
It's a smart guy, Mark. I've never really spoke to you, mate. How you doing?
Hi, Paul.
How you doing, mate?
Yeah, good. You?
Nah, I'm sound, man. I'm sound. Where about in London you from?
No, I'm southwest.
All right.
What?
Yeah, everybody's gone kind of quiet. It's usually
hey, I just got back.
Hey, Richie.
I wanted to go make a coffee. All I gotta say is, for those about to rock, we salute you. You know, we're all here for each other, man.
Well,
I'm
still rocking, Paul.
No doubt.
It's when you start to read some of you read the Coptic stuff, and then you go and look at some of the Greek Orthodox stuff. What they're actually telling you is Jesus was actually related to King David, King Fru's father. So Jesus wasn't actually saying I'm the son of God. Jesus was saying I'm a king. I'm related to King David. I should be rightfully king. So what they said was, no, he's saying he's the son of God and that. So that's how you could say back in the day they got rid of Jesus. Because he wasn't saying he was basically the son of God. Like, he was saying through my bloodline and who I am, I'm from King David, it's King Solomon. Because his father, and that's how you get into all this stuff to do with Jesus and his mum and the Immaculate Conception, you know. But that's a different story. I didn't want to get into that because that kind of pisses people off who are of a religious kind, you know.
Yeah, well, hey, we got a billion of these guys. I'm Krishna. I'm Vishnu.
Exactly, from everyone, every single one of them at once and at the same time.
You know, and I think too that these guys, you got to think about it. Any consciousness, any particular being, right? Us being a single cell, aware, conscious being. You got to figure they're trying to figure all this shit out too. You know, so they're coming up with what's going on here. So they organized and had their experiences and grouped together here, there, and everywhere, and that's what it is we're doing, and we're taking what it is we hear. That's why I listen and I do get quiet a lot and focus in what I hear people saying, because I know all the secrets of this universe exist within you. Yeah. So I'd be a fool not to listen to you, anyone. And then we just take it from there. We run with it. And what caused me to do my searching, seeking, asking, what was my consciousness wasn't satisfied. I wasn't settled. There was a restlessness, and that's what's going on. That's what goes on with you, if you're not, and I hear people, that are content. Bob sounds very content. With himself, with his truth, but there's things I think that each of us as single individual consciousness has a mission, has a purpose, has a function, and for me,
my purpose is just to find my truth.
Yeah. You're not discouraging anybody from finding their own truth, and neither am I,
No.
So.
Go for it, Bob.
you know, for me, it's just finding out there's more to the picture than meets the eye. Absolutely, you know, and we're coloring in the details of it all, you know, and breaking free from the programming, you know, because that's absolutely you know, something that we've experienced, and breaking free from for me, you know, certain types of comfort zones, you know, the comfort zone, so anyways,
there's no such thing.
Yeah. I mean, the one thing I don't, yeah, I think the biggest thing for me, right, personally, was realizing, you know, that I exist forever. You know, there's no point in time when I'm going to cease to be. You know, so that kind of takes away a lot of, pretty much all fear. You know, and it's definitely developing. It's just, that's why, like I said, I listen and listen, because I know all points of truth exist within each of us, and as soon as that energy rises into its fruition, right, into my consciousness, you know, we and I, you know, as a single cell conscious being, carries that, you know, and that's what I do, is I carry it and hold it. I hold that truth. I hold that understanding. So if anybody's confused about, like, you know, with my journey, my walk, with who it is and what it is I am, you know, politely usually, but sometimes I got to pull out Fluffy and remind them. You know, and
what I often say to that one, your interpretation of it is your burden and not mine.
Mhm.
You know, yeah. So I speak my truth without malice, but if people from their own set up and interpret it a different way, well, a burden that's not mine. I'm content with who I am, and you know, I think I don't like this word "think" because it, you know, it alludes to the left brain, but I feel that it's sovereign, and for me to respect their sovereignty, I lovingly challenge their journey. Their journey on their journey, my opinion journey, because a path, they have their own lesson to learn, which is why I give advice. All I can just share what has worked, and everything that works is really, really simple. Staying in my heart, and anything I need puts itself in front of me, and if it works, I unfold it into my truth, and if it does not resonate, then it just floats away. So they're complicated in my life, and you know, for me, as I said earlier, I honour everybody else sharing truth. And as I said, my goal is inner peace, and my intention in life, I am here to have a joyful, gentle, loving, and abundant. And what I hear from other people around the table is, what is their intention for their life? Because if they are in control of their life, they must have an intention for it. And what is their goal? So that's the sort of information I would love to hear. You know. Anyway, there's a lovely little quote that came up the other day: silence breeds evolution. And I really get that. I really get that. It was interesting to notice how uncomfortable people got when there was that little silent gap, you know, about 5 or 10 minutes ago. But yeah, silence breeds evolution. There's a lot of beautiful energy here.
Oh, absolutely. My intention, though, Bob, too, is joining all these superheroes. Because like 99 red balloons, it says, this is it, boys. This is what we've waited for. This is it, boys. This is war. See, what I see and recognize, my intuition at this period in time and place, in this position, our being made it to that womb, to come into this. This is the time. Right here, and my goal is in joining these warriors and joining these superheroes is to definitely shake, rattle, and roll this globe, right? Because I know that the ones coming to this table and other points out there, where some silently doing their work, is with a globe masters. Glow, right? Glow. The globe.
Yeah.
And that's exactly what it. So that's my intention, is joining these words. And others might not have to, That's like I said, if it doesn't apply, let it fly, And then they can say,
I agree.
But absolutely,
Yeah, I agree. And I really love to engage with people that are living their truth and living their passion. But my caveat to that is I always realise that it is their truth and their passion and not mine. So, and it was a bit of synchronicity. I watched the movie Gandhi the other night. And for me that's a posture I do support. Because for me, I love everybody, and how can you fight? So for me, there is a gentle way, and what's working for me is just standing in my own truth and letting my light shine. And one by one, the people I meet either connect with that or they don't, and it doesn't worry me either way. But when I leave somebody with a little smile on their face and a twinkle in their eye, then that's it. I've had a great day. And so the ripples in the pond are spreading, and that's enough for me. My days of drama and intensity are long past. Great news. I went for a swim this morning to get some of the pain in my body. And a dugong came up while I was in the water. A dugong is like a sea cow. And they're very, very, very shy. So I was blessed by this creature, coming up to see what was going on. It's bloody awesome, mate. Bloody awesome. Where are you living?
What's that, Alex?
Who's that?
Where do you live?
Who, me?
Where do you live? Yeah.
New Hampshire. And you know what everybody's license plate says? Live free or die. The irony of that just blows me away.
Yeah. Oh, so they're still using plates, are they?
Well, they are. I'm not.
Yeah, we've got an old guy. We've got an old guy in town here, and I'm 61. So this guy, Billy, hasn't registered 20 years. He hasn't had plates on it for 20 years. So all of this stuff that's going on now isn't new. It's been. It's like how did we get to the moon? By standing on the shoulders of giants. So yeah. We're all part of this beautiful pyramid. It's great, isn't it? Just to notice it. If it's really growing. My own journey is the noticing. I can just sit back and watch me in my life and just notice it without engaging in it and without being impacted by it. Just to notice it. And if it's, as I said, if it resonates, but God, I just wish I could share how peaceful I feel with everyone, and I wish this on every creature, It's blissful, mate. It's absolutely blissful.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Oh, dear. This is how we're meant to be. This, if I need an example, I look at a baby, or a child. I remember my little stepsister when she was little, that was born. And that's what I'm trying to go innocent and accept, trust. And just imagine if everybody behaved like that. We just welcome each other with open arms, total trust, no fear, no competition, just acceptance, and that gives me a nice warm feeling. Hey. Yeah.
I hear you. That's the goal, man. I mean, everything. That's the goal. I mean, something went south. Something went south because, many of us. I mean, the experiences that we've had. We're bringing them to the table. We see them. I've seen and have been in lots of places and seeing, people been in jail, suffering, lost, not knowing who they are, I can't. That's why I can't walk away from that. I can't turn a blind eye. I can't put blinders up and pretend that it's not there. I got to clear it out of myself, get myself clear, get myself centered, and realize, that there's things to be done, and the most and only thing within my own mind is finding that voice, because that's the thing that's going to make the connection. That's why, like what Kate does with the phonics and the breaking this down and getting that the spirit. What we're talking about is having that conscious connection, and doing that,
Yeah.
I mean, that's
thing for me.
Hey, Mike.
Move space. That's just trusting in that, my inner knowing, my inner, my intuition, gut feeling, heart space. Words are becoming less and less useful now, but just by totally trusting in my inner knowing and my heart space, that's all I have to do. And just by my own being, I think I'm doing enough doing just to be. Oh dear, it's a beautiful conversation. So there's such a peaceful tranquility here today. So yeah,
there is.
If anybody else wants to chime in,
I feel like me and you are the only one. I know we got a lot of other listeners here, don't we? Who else is
but
there?
The beautiful thing is, there doesn't have to be anybody here. Just by, for me, vocalized ascension, it is now out there, and it's in the field, and it's going to resonate with somebody. It's going to connect with somebody, but it's part of now all that there is to know. So, and it's been my experience. I've been to that. So yeah, the butterfly. Well, I'm going to have a cup of coffee, and I'll just mute out and let somebody else share their heart space for a while, if that's okay. If not, I can talk about this for eons, because for me, this is all there is. This is the only reality. Evolution and coming together. That's all there is. Love you, brother.
All right. Sounds like a plan.
Yeah. What happened to everybody? Has everybody been dropped?
Hey, Paul.
It's Michael. Are you there, Michael? Michael and Martin.
Michael's dropped. But
oh, did he?
Yeah.
It's really good. Yeah. Listening
how did you get any of this, Mark? How did you get any of this, brother?
How did I get into what, Paul?
Like say, do you know what I mean? Standing in your truth, mate.
I think my yellow brick road probably started when my father was diagnosed, and he kind of go on a journey, and that yellow brick road led me to Kate. And you sort of learn that everything's upside down, back to front. And ultimately, from my perspective, it's looking in that mirror. I think Mike, and everybody, we talk about this quite a bit. That it's the answers are all the answers that we have are within. And sometimes it's the simplicity
I totally
of
agree,
it.
Mark.
The simplicity of it can the analytical side, which I kind of feel I have quite an analytical in my previous paradigm. But for me, sometimes that's had some advantages, because from that point where I started my yellow brick road, I went down a lot of rabbit holes. And I went down them really quickly. And
I feel you, brother. I've done the same as well, mate. I've went down those rabbit holes and burnt my fluffy little white tail, as you could say, but came out with, you know what I'm saying? Came out wiser for it, Mark.
I think, like a lot, that I kind of use the word discernment, that if we have certain information in front of us, that we can have discernment. And for a lot of people who come to this table and share, to me it's like a big jigsaw puzzle.
Yeah.
And the pieces are coming together, and that picture is becoming ever clearer for everyone to see.
Yeah. You've struck a few chords there with me, Mark. Where are you based, Mark?
At the present, I live in the southwest of England.
Yeah, whereabouts?
I'm near a market town called Tiverton.
Oh, Tiverton. I'm a Berkshire boy myself.
Okay.
I used to go to Cornwall every year for our, annual lemming migration. So it's a lovely part of the world down there. Yeah. And simpatico with what you shared, because on my own journey I had to sort of look at the world, face the world, and then turn my back on it and face the truth, because everything I'd been taught up until that time that I turned away, I had to unlearn and sort of deprogram, get out of the indoctrination of what the system had fed me, and just start finding my own truth. And I think it was about, and my dad died of cancer, and my mum died of cancer, and I've got a sort of scary life, but it was turning my back on the system and finding the truth just by doing that. It's really amazing. And there's a beautiful phrase from an American guy I came across years ago, John Bradshaw. All born to be. And I just see so many people now
becoming who they were destined to be.
You broke up there, mate. Could you say that again?
What, the line?
Yeah, you broke
John
up
Bradshaw.
there.
Yeah. Well, I've been cracking up for years, mate, so I might as well break up as well. The line was, the biggest sin that anyone can commit is to not become all that they were born to be.
Yeah.
And John Bradshaw was one of my mentors back in the early days of my awakening. He's got a lot of good stuff. And Ian Lungold was another one. Just so many people who've got, who I've resonated with, and that's all I do. I just look for what sings with me, what sings in my heart, and
the thing is,
that's what works.
Bob, there is that difference when something resonates with your heart or your gut, not the mind.
Yeah, well, I turn my mind off. For me, my mind is just a tool that I use when I choose. So, I used to be in automotive research. I used to be a project engineer, running 8 different projects concurrently. So I've been in that mind monkey chatter space. And even, when I sort of moved away from that, I still had a lot of chatter up there. And I now have the awareness and the noticing that my mind is just a tool that I use when I choose. Like all other elements of me, they are merely tools that I keep in my tool shed, and I use them when I choose to use them. They do not impact on me because I am their caretaker. So I don't have any monkey chatter, inner talk going on inside me, and that's why I say my goal is inner peace. There is nothing in there that I don't want to put in there.
Yeah.
You've been dealing with that tricky little bastard, Bob.
And all that ego stuff just falls away for me once I turn the left brain off. I do know who I am. I do know I'm sovereign. And I can stand powerful in that. I do stand powerful in that. Anybody that in their unconsciousness tries to challenge my sovereignty, then woe betide. But I prefer the gentle path of just looking lovingly into these people's eyes while they're ranting and raving, and it's like their anger and their distress gone. So works for me.
Yeah, we'll be tight. We'll be tight, Bob, man. And one of my mates, we laugh over that. He says, "Good old fucking Wobby." Yeah, we'll be tight. Amazing. I was trying not to laugh there when you said it.
It's just standing. It's
at the moment.
It's standing in your truth, Bob, and knowing who you are.
Yeah, I know this.
I
know this. Yeah. Oh, it's such a beautiful morning. I wish you guys were here with me on the boat. It's about 28 degrees centigrade. It's 11:30 in the morning. There's a gentle southeasterly breeze blowing, and the
rub
boat
it in, Bob. Rub it right in, mate. Yeah. Rub it in.
Oh,
we've been getting
not bad for a
bit of
turner. Yeah, not through the cyclone season. We've had 3 months of cyclone, and that's beautiful, interesting. It really is my attention for that period. But hey, you can't have, for me, let me appreciate this. And the moment I'm living my dream. My dream.
Good on you, bro. Good on you, Bob.
I don't have to go ashore, a lot of mate Barnaby used all there. He's happy as a clam, a panel, and the wind generator providing my energy needs. If I want something to eat, I go catch fish. The only reason I need to go ashore really is to get some rum and tobacco.
Rum and backy, yeah. Bit of rum and backy. Get the rum and backy, yeah. Quality.
And so, I pose the question again, well, I just make a statement, if you're not living your dream, that's entirely your choice. Yeah. And so for me, it's all about conscious living. I choose to take control of my life, and I've chosen what to do. And for me, it doesn't get much simpler than that. Hard journey. It's been a terrifying journey. But I'm now sort of just reaping the rewards of all the hard work that I've done before. So, and I wish it on. I wish that everybody finds their dream and lives their dream. That's my bequest to every other human being. Come and join me in paradise.
Whereabouts are you, Bob?
The Whitsunday Islands, which is off the Queensland coast. My nearest neighbour is the Great Barrier Reef.
Is that near the Gold Coast, isn't it, Bob? Near the Gold Coast?
That's north.
North?
No, that's plastic. The Gold Coast is plastic, fantastic concrete land.
I might pop round, Bob, when I go on my walkabout.
Yeah, please do. I'm on the 20-degree south meridian, and 108 degrees east. If you're in a little bay called Bay off Airlie Beach, 74 islands. I could spend a lifetime just cruising around on a boat that's driven by the wind.
Oh, if you guys could smell what I've just finished cooking for everybody here.
Oh, yes, please.
Vegetarian pasta. Oh my God, it's freaking awesome.
I was going to say, if you could smell what I was smoking here, you would love it.
Oh, sorry, I got my own. It smells lovely. What are you smoking?
Yeah, I find that cake.
Fuck off.
I'm just checking to see if I got Borean back in the call here. I've been listening on and off here, so just letting you guys know that. Well, we're down to 20 minutes left too, so not bad.
It's been a beautiful, gentle run over. The serenity. I could feel it from here. The gentility and the acceptance. Had some beautiful integer. It's magnificent, Kate. And you're sounding. How are you feeling in yourself? Yeah. I had a crazy night. I've got a trapped nerve. I've got I'm having trouble with my neck. It's got a head top of it. I've got a trapped nerve, and my left arm is just about paralyzed. I didn't get it last night. It's nice, calm, busy place this morning, so it's all good. Yeah.
So how's that pasta then, Kate? Nice?
Yeah, I was just trying to get a mouthful in there before I could. Good timing, just clear to speak. So, it's quite yummy. Yeah, it's one of the things Well, I tell you, I love to cook, and that's one of the things that when you don't have your own kitchen, it's not an easy thing to do,
Yeah.
So it's all right. I tell you, that's my ex actually. I guarantee you, one of the things I'll miss the most is the cooking.
Oh, you're a good cook, Kate.
Oh yeah, well, my mom was a great cook. She actually taught cooking and whatnot. She was an ad-libber, right, as far as putting stuff together. But potato bread and wheat and bonnet and, oh my God, all of the traditional...
Kate, soups, what do they like for their soups over here? Yeah, broth and tatty lentil.
Yeah, well, see, that's that whole realm of my own, soups and gravies, right?
Soups and gravy, Kate. My mum's a great cook as well, but it's weird, Kate. You eat what you're given. Like, you eat what you're given, or you didn't eat. You know what I mean?
Well, yeah. All I'm trying to say here is I'd make anyone a great doormat. Apparently, that's all I've been so far. So I might as well spell it out, right? You know.
Cooking.
Yeah, fuck. They get to miss the cooking. I'm good.
Yeah.
When I mean, it's meditative and creative. You know, what am I going to? I don't. You know, I just intuitively pick this spice or that or this and that and that, and it's different every time. And you've got me going now, Kate, because I'm salivating already, and it's about 6 hours before my main meal of the day, and I just know that it's going to be scrumptious, it's going to be orgasmic. You know, it might not be healthy all of the time, but you know,
nice chopped tomatoes.
I'm hanging out for it now.
Yeah, chopped red peppers, onions, garlic. Well, of course, fresh tomatoes and one neutral sauce to round it out. But wow, been a while since I've put one of these together. So I picked up some curry the other day, so I want to make a nice curry gravy. I love curry gravy. Oh my.
Yeah. One of my friends is as I was saying, Kate, he's from Pakistan, eh? And he showed us how to make a good curry. Like, the trick is, Kate, is whatever you think, put your rice in with your sauce and leave it for about half an hour to cool, and then reheat it. That's what. And the curries are brilliant, man. Some chapatis as well. I love a chapati, like.
The trick to curry is the longer it cooks, the better it tastes.
24 hours is the best time frame for. You'll heat it up, bring it to boil, and then let it sit, and then doing that, add water and oil, whatever you need. But I tell you, it's really hard getting through that overnight. you get it ready, and it's like, I want it now. No, for tomorrow night's supper. Let's say I failed
when I was on Navassa. When I was on Navassa, it was occasional cruise ship, and all the crew were Goanese. All the stage crew were Goanese, and all the officers were English, white. And we used to buy little chickens and feed them up on the boat in the disused air-conditioned machinery space, up in cages there. And crews, the Tyndall, who's the man in the boiler room, he would sacrifice the chickens, and we'd have a crew curry. And this pot he used to bring into my cabin was about 3 feet in diameter by about 3 feet deep, and there's stacks of chapati, 6 full sops beer, and oh God, magnificent. We had great times at sea, great times. And it's what I love about living. I can eat what I like. I like because I've got all the window. It doesn't really matter.
Eat as much as you want, and whatever doesn't stay down goes out through the porthole. Depends on the weather.
I've been
right?
trying to. Yeah. And some of the stuff I eat produces a lot of gas, and flatulence isn't terminal. I can't understand is, Barnaby and I have been together for 7 years now, and I've never caught him out in a fart. I've got a dog that does not fart. Either that or he waits till I'm asleep. But, it's just, I'm blessed, doubly blessed. I've got a great companion who doesn't fart,
and he's always interested in mine.
Yeah, it's funny, especially the dogs that I had. They fart and they give you this look like, what? Suck it up.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's a look like, did you do that? You know what I'm saying? Sometimes it's
yeah, that's the other look you get. Oh, that wasn't me, that's you.
Was that you?
But what makes me laugh is, if I drop one, you like seek out the source. Oh yeah, that was Dad. Oh, he just cracks me up. He I
remember more than one occasion, Fresno, he liked to sleep at, under the covers at the bottom of the bed at the feet, right? All 7 pounds of him. He might be, I'd say about 8 pounds. Anyway, cross between short-haired Chihuahua and Jack Russell Terrier. He's all Jack Russell in form and shape, just shrunk down to the size to a Chihuahua. He's like this miniature Jack Russell. But he's got the Chihuahua ears, right? And of course he's got that big bold look. But oh god, it's so funny. Sometimes he'd fart and he'd wake himself up and head up to the top, and it's like, oh, what's up, bud? Oh my god. Right? Yeah, thanks. Yeah, I wouldn't be one to hang around that either. Thanks for the warning. Yeah, it wouldn't be the first time.
Yeah, well, what I like about Barnaby is when we settle down in the evening and say good night, a little cuddle, and he will not sleep with his head pointing in the same, and he will not sleep with his head higher than me. So what he usually does is just snuggle into the legs with his nose towards my feet. It's funny that, it's like he will not be above the salt, or I don't know. Yeah, I just can't work him out. I'm giving up trying. I just admire him and accept him and love him, and yeah, he's awesome. He's ripping shit out of his toys this morning. Oh dear, life is great. Life is blissful. Life is beautiful.
Yeah, Bob, you get the impression from you you're content. That's kind of cool, mate. Not a lot of people are content.
Well, to get back to my sort of mechanical approach to spirituality, I consciously chose to do that. My goal is inner peace, and my personal intention for this existence is I am here to have the gentle choice of abundant loving life. So, I've made that happen. And I believe everybody can, set their own goal and achieve it.
Yeah, and just a heads up for those on Skype, if a call comes in for you while you're dialed into the show, if you answer that other call, that music that you hear is what we all get to tolerate. So, Paul, stop doing that. Anyway, so that was Paul's line again. So I know exactly who it was. It's happened a few times.
I thought you were just tuning up for another song, Kate.
Oh, God, no. Anyway, we'll get about 8 minutes. 8 minutes left here, guys. So I'm just going to say a couple of things, and you guys can finish her off. I'm going to cover the Hooked on Phonics tomorrow for sure. It's amazing how much time we think we have, and I never feel like we have enough. But anyway, I'll be doing that tomorrow night. What else? That's really about it. And yes, feeling marginally 100% better than I was yesterday. I'm running about 70%, 75% now. So it's I can hardly wait for the 100%. But a lot of clearing. I think a lot of people are going through this. There's a lot of energy flying around. So don't be surprised at your own personal shifts that take on physical manifestations as well. And clean the shit out and purge, and that's all this is for me. And a great excuse, I'll tell you. When my pillow looked at me and said, lie down, it was great actually saying, I have to. I don't have a choice in this. So, but yeah, it's a whole lot better, and I'm hoping the Joe Rogan style of delivery today was at least fun. I love Joe Rogan. The guy he's just right in your face. I love him.
Yeah, I agree with what you're saying, Kate. The last week, on an emotional and physical level, it's just been like a tornado, a real oddball. It's nice to just sort of step above and noticing it all going on. I think that in my left arm, just shifting now. Is the tail end of this sort of spiritual vomit or whatever. I don't know. Words are becoming more and more useless for me. But yeah, I'm just blissful. So it's been nice sharing time with all you guys, and I'll catch you tomorrow. Hopefully, maybe. I don't have a plan. See what unfolds. So sweet dreams to wherever you are.
All right, back at you. I'm going to try Paul's line again.
Catch you next.
Okay, Paul's back. All right, good. Hey, Paul.
Sorry, yeah, it was me though.
Yeah. If you're on the board, anyone that's using Skype to call in, if they get a call and they answer it while they're on the board, the whole board gets the hold. Dun, 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 dun. Just letting you know. So what I normally do when I do get people calling me is I fucking ignore it. No, I don't do, but I just type Skype already in use right now. Will get to you when it's open. And that seems to work okay. And for those that are wondering about why do not disturb, I do that because of the annoying blips that you will hear on radio shows from people that don't know how to set their Skype to a silent mode. If I was to leave it open all day, there would be, homicides, okay?
Sorry, yeah, that was my bad.
That's okay. No, this is for everybody. No, there's no bad.
Yeah.
This is just telling people what's going on so that they know for future. It's all good. I'll just mute you out. Don't worry about it. I like it because it's only been happening to you. So as soon as I heard it, it's Paul again. Click. Yeah, it was Paul. Well,
yeah, I'd like to say just for tomorrow, man. Thinking of Pete. Do you know what I mean? Best of luck to you, Pete, man. Just stand in your truth, brother, and do your thing.
He'll be great. He'll be peachy.
Yeah.
Just got to lose the emotional attachments. That's the only thing. Anytime I'm talking with anyone, if you're not past the emotional holding on to shit, I can't fucking help you.
Yeah.
End of story. Because you're already dead.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he seems to be. I just gonna jump in. I just got on the phone just a little while ago, but yeah, and I'll make a conscious effort just to get my mind centered and being with you in the sense that just I guess what you could do is just say that Kate, me, Paul, everybody at this table and ones that are with you. Just imagine we're all standing side by side with you. We're all in the courtroom with you. Just think of that. That might give you some courage in the sense of delivering, your voice to these individuals. And just know that we're all there standing in there with you.
I already see the victory. I already see a beautiful thing coming out of it. So, regardless, everything is perfect. Everything is
Pete, tomorrow, you'll get Pete on tomorrow buzzing. I bet you'll get Pete on tomorrow night buzzing. You'll be like, this happened today and that happened and this is great. Watch this space tomorrow night shall be fun, like.
Yeah, guard my ass.
Yeah, exactly. You'll be buzzing. I guarantee Pete's on tomorrow buzzing.
Yeah, they might not want to handle all that energy. They dismiss the case before it even enters into that place, perhaps.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. No, I think Pete will go in confidence. He knows there's a lot of people listening and they'll be thinking of him tomorrow, and that'll give him confidence.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah. These courts already know this game now. They know they're toast.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fuck, so Masonic courts, just Masonic courts. It started off for correction. Now it's all about money. No correction there, no justice, nothing. Money. We want money. And your soul. And everything else we can get.
And something else too, I hear popping up. I only got a minute left here, but I hear on occasion the term, the Jews this and the Jews that. The ones that are doing the evil are not fucking Jews. The benevolents are the Jews. Okay, they are the Jew imposters.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, they're the Asha Nazis.
Yeah.
Ash, no Nazis. They're all about the Nazis. So, this is the perfect place to hide is call yourself something that you're completely the opposite of, and then make the ones that you're hiding behind the scapegoat for the planet. Ring a bell for anybody?
Yeah.
And you dare speak against them? What are you? You're an anti-Semite. No, I'm an anti-fucking idiot. How's that? Because
that's the tally where that's that kind of easy, and it's like, no, I'm standing in my truth, brother. Do you know what I'm saying? Especially when you look at Scotland, this missing tribe stuff. Do you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Scotland and Ireland, there's two missing tribes.
Yeah, and I tell you, you'd be hard pressed to find a Jew that actually knows what a Jew is.
Exactly, because it's when I look at it, it's another polarization. It's, yeah, I'm a Jew. It's like, no, I'm not a Jew. I'm not Christian.
You're clever. That's why you're here. You were clever enough to make it here. Well done. Congratulations. Yes, and for any other news to the show, of course, the voice is lower than boobs would indicate, and that's just normal for transgender-type people. So you'll get over that one quick enough, and that's definitely an outside-the-box perspective for you. What else? Let's, I'm going to swing for home here. Might as well take Mr. Spaulding right out of the parking lot. To hell with the park. This human nature thing that people have, you got to let it go. Because the only thing that's going to keep you under any sort of system control is your fear of losing something. And this is why I was so fortunate having my entire universe raped in one night. I didn't have to worry about, what about this? What about that? Oh, I have to, gone. Here's the coat in your back. Oh, yeah, that car and truck and house and family and everything else that you thought you had, well, it just got fucked. Yeah, while you're at it, it's about minus 20, minus 25 Celsius. Yeah, it's a good thing you've got a spring coat on. Yeah, that's really cool. Of course, walking shoes. That doesn't really work in the drifts very well. But anyway, and this is the joke of it, guys. This is where you gotta just let go. What the fuck are you holding on to? And I'm telling you, what you're holding on to is the very thing that's got you by the nads. It's got you by the throat. Have a look at the coat of arms for that whore in fucking Buckingham Palace, okay? The whore and her fucking pimp. Have a look at it. It's got a lion on one side and a unicorn on the other. And what's around the unicorn's neck is a crown with a chain on it. That's you. But you don't see the crown tight around the neck, do you? No. You got to be strong enough to stand up, bow your head, let that motherfucker fall off. And I'm on fire tonight, guys, because I've been feeling like shit for the last 5 days. And I really, really don't like talking about this much anymore. So if it feels like it's cutting right to the core, it's because it has to at this point. Because I'll be honest, as I almost brutally am, how long would you fucking do this? I'm going to let that sink in for a sec. Insert the Jeopardy theme here. Okay, we're going to get a little bit outside the box tonight. Okay, I got a situation with a friend over in Ireland, and I'm hoping that Pete calls in, sort a couple of things out, and do some clarification. Because what he's got is a classic example of what needs to be dealt with. And, of course, you can be a pussy like Santo Bonacci and fucking fold like a wet rag. Sorry, Santo. I call him as I see him. 9 days in general population. Come on, man. Fuck, I thought you were stronger than that goddamn Aries. Is there a pussy sign in the zodiac? fucking better be. Anyway. Yeah, I'm just tired of all these so-called truthers, giving their personal information out. They'd rather just be the here I am, I'm a star. No, sorry, I'm a group player. I kind of hang out in the commons, and that's where we all are. So anyway, I do make myself accessible, but please keep in mind, texts at 1 and 2 in the morning don't really work for me, nor do phone calls at 6 a.m. Just be mindful, I'm in Eastern Standard Time. Have a look at the clock and ask yourself the question, would I want some asshole calling me at that time? Didn't think so. Okay, so, as you wish upon others, well, you've wished upon yourself. So put that in the mirror. If you want to get, phone calls at 5 a.m., waking you up and having to answer all sorts of questions, then you'll understand what I'm talking about. All right, so I'm just going through the list here. Just carrying on. Oh, yeah, I'm back, Paul. Somebody put a flamethrower under the bed. I just found it. Okay, good night, Ninja. Love you. And sweet dreams, kiddo. Where are we at here? Hey, Fred. Bobo. Yeah. Now, once you get a hold of me on Skype, or, by the way, guys, anyone that's on Skype that has friends that are, at this table, just Skype contact them and get them to add you to the Lighthouse as well, because we have wide open. It's non-exclusive. We don't segregate or separate in any way, shape, or form. Apparently assholes are welcome in the room. I'm there, so it's all good. You see, so it's all good. And hey, Mark, I know it's fun, isn't it? Sorry, I just. That elastic thing that got stretched so far, it just let go tonight. But I just want to get back to Pete. He said he was going to call in. Let me see. And I thought he put something in the room. Everything moves so quick in the rooms. Let me see. Yeah. Anyway, Pete's got a court thing tomorrow. Long story there. It's absolute bullshit, dealing with his ex and, of course, his son. But it's a prime example of what I'm talking about with the emotional baggage that's going to get your ass owned every fucking time. Promise. You are emotional, you can be threatened. You got to go back to the Abraham when he was told to slay his son sort of mentality. Okay. The allegory there is quite simple. Are you willing to lay it all on the line? Really? Seriously? And it is merely the intent and the action of getting to the altar and putting your child on the altar and of course, right at the moment, says, no, I was just testing you to see if you were committed, right? And that's what you got to be. You've got to be committed to this, because the more you think you're hanging on and holding on to something to protect it, you're actually fucking killing it. You better get this through your head, guys. It's all backwards here. And your emotions are going to kill you every time. And the minute you think you're going to lose something, you're like, oh my God, that's the power of fear. There's much to fear from someone with nothing to lose.
You're listening to Kate of Gaia on Critical Mass Radio. The game is up. Now, it's our turn.
Fucking blog talk. Anyway, hi guys, how's it going? I hate clicking the thing 3 or 4 times for it to go. It's like, get the studio working here, people. Welcome to Outside the Box. Yours truly, Kate of Gaia. For those that are brand new listening, welcome to the reality of reality shows. Anyway, where did I want to start? There's a lot of places I want to start tonight. First one is that I'm doing this against better body sense judgment, but I got to tell you, there's a lot more important things to be doing. And, with some of the things that have been coming up that are absolutely critical, as far as I'm concerned, to really drive these points home with people. I sit here beside myself going, this is so easy. Why don't people get this? Oh, but I'm too busy being emotional. That's the problem, right? You want to stop any good rational conversation? Get emotional. Throw a religion in there. Yeah, that's why you can't offend me. And by the way, don't ever don't ever think you somehow offended me. And this, I get this quite regular from people. I hope I didn't offend you. So you can't, right? So have a look in the mirror on that. And I'm being very, very blunt. Have a look. That's scuba nose. Have a look. Okay? How the hell are we going to help each other if we're going to walk around each other with rice paper? Okay? Seriously? I got to tell you, I view this planet like a bunch of 5-year-old kids with guns and weapons and money and ego and emotional, like tantrum-throwing grown-ups. You know? None more so than what I've seemed to have met in the sovereign freeman movement in the previous years of this. But it drives me crazy. And in a very neutral way, it's like, okay. It's imagine sitting in a classroom and the teacher puts 1 + 1 on the blackboard equals, and everyone in the classroom goes up and writes 3, 7, 18, A, right? After you've already went up and answered it, 1 + 1 = 2. Just, I'm being very literal here, okay? And everybody got that? Yeah, we got it. Erase it, and then they go up. What was that again? I think it was 3. That's what happens when emotions get involved, when fear gets involved. Fear is your biggest enemy because it's the biggest joke of all. And I'll tell you, you know what fear is? Fear is that thing about losing something, Ego is only worried about losing. I might lose, face on this, or I might lose my job, or I might lose. Who gives a shit? I just accept things as they are, and I move through the things as I accept them. Right? No hassle, no fuss, no muss, easy peasy. The answers will present themselves. I've got my own little things rattling around in my cage that I'll keep them in a tumbler long enough to see. And again, it's the tumbler, any rough edges, until I can present the gem, right? So I don't know about you, but if anyone as a kid got a rock tumbler, actually one of my friends had one. It's pretty cool. You take stones you'd find out in the street and whatever, and all the rough edges, and you throw them in the tumbler. And you let this thing tumble, for a few days, a couple of weeks, whatever. I think typically it was a week to 2 weeks that rocks had to be tumbled before they started to become polished, right? Anyway, you can't squeeze that process. And that's what's happened to humanity, is we've tried to squeeze this typical 2-week process of smoothing a stone into, I'm waiting for my burger, it's been a minute now. Okay, the drive-through truth mentality. And that's fear. I've lost count of how many night before the project is due projects coming to me. I accept that as normal, apparently. As a kid, I was given a project to do. I'd do it. You have 2 weeks to do the project, or 3 weeks to do this project. So I'd do it. 2-3 days later, it was done. And I'd watch the other kids a week and a half later, and so, have you started your project yet? And says, yeah, it's done. I'm just adding to it as I go now. Huh? Well, what's the point? What kind of, in terms of marks, what kind of mark you looking for? Your best projects aren't the night before ones, okay? Those are the ones that you were just either too lazy, and that's typically what it is. As kids, anyway, too lazy to get started on them because you're too busy playing. Sound familiar, guys? God, it almost sounds like fucking adult world. And then you get people caught up in all sorts of dramas and nonsense, and the human hormone dramas and the rest of it. It's like it's nuts. It is. Have a look around. You walk and talk in high school. Crazy. But anyway, I'm here to absolve some of that anyway, because I had a lot of that to go through. I had all of it to go through. So I'm no different than anyone else. We're all on our own paths here. all separate but singular at the same time, with all things connected. And this is the hardest thing that people have to see is the anagogic side of things. Anagogic is taking it beyond the allegorical meaning. And I find that it tends to get into the literal far too much for my liking. Where I prefer to talk about concepts, not literal diatribes and dramas and regurgitating the same shit over and over again. It's okay, and the stuff that we've talked about, I know you get. That's okay, bringing it up. It's all right. Let's move on, right? Yes, I know they don't know shit. That's why I don't listen to them anymore. There's only a handful of people I'll even mention, let alone talk to. And you guys know the short list on that. I've watched too many truthers fall off the cliff of reality, and I know why, because they just get to that point of, if I do that, then yeah, scary shit, huh? It's not really, once you get there. It just takes a bit of practice. But I'll tell you, for those of us that are here of where I'm talking about, we're carrying the weight for you. Isn't that cool? Lucky you. Nanny state times 2. And then there are many at this table that have taken the beautiful walk. And they know exactly what I'm talking about. They know exactly why I crank the way I do. I'm one of the very few people that will. It's just my nature. Brutally honest. I'll tell you why, because I had to be brutally honest with me first. So I figured if I can be that rough on me, everybody else is easy. Anyway, situation. Let me see. I just go into the Skype here. Bear with me, guys. My multitasking ability isn't that great. Now, just so people know, it's BTR listener number 025. So if you want to call in via Skype, there's the shortcut to do that. BRT listener 025. All right. Yeah, the heads again is not as clear as I like it to be, but it's perfectly clear from where I can see it. Anyway, the phone number to call in for those that want to jump in here is 661-467-2401. That's 661-467-2401. Okay, that being said, you can at least get to the board if you want to come in and ask questions. Once you're on the board, all you have to do is hit 1, and that lets me know. And yes, I see area code 770. And, of course, Chris, I see you there, too. I'm going to open up the mics in a sec. 1 sec here. All right, where is it? Why not a pile of fun or what? You should get me at a gathering sometime. There we go. There's gotcha, Willie X. Love it. Let me see. I got to get anyone that has contacted me. I get them into the Lighthouse immediately. For those who want to involve themselves in our group chat, we don't do anything really on the Blog Talk page. At least I don't, because I got the studio open, so there's no way I can even interact with that. In real time. But the Skype I can, because it's open close. I can't be flipping pages here constantly with the studio. Anyway, so anyone that wants to get a hold of me on Skype, it's easy. That's katie.renee.thompson. That's KATIE.RENEE.THOMPSON. Okay, and you might find that to be a little different than most truther radio types. They really don't like